It's Throwback Thursday with Covino and Rich.
Hi, my name is... What? My name is... Are you telling me you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
Throwback Thursday. What's the problem? Yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while my DJ revolves.
I don't even own a gun, let alone many guns that would necessitate an entire rap.
Throwback Thursday.
I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air.
Bueller.
What are you? I'm Batman.
Ned Ryerson.
Two in the box. Ready to go. We be fast and they be slow.
It's Throwback Thursday with Covino and Rich.
Here comes Roger Maris. Just standing up, waiting to see if Maris is going to hit number 61. Here's the windup. Fastball hit deep to right. This could be it. Way back there. Holy cow! Roger Maris. Holy cow! What a shot! Another standing ovation for Roger Maris. 61 home runs, and they're still fighting for that ball out there. People were climbing over each other's backs.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Don't mind if I do.
Covino and Rich.
Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
Heard all about it on the radio.
Holy mother nugget. And holy mother meatball.
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous. What? You're such a fool. Get out of here.
Oh, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go.
All right. Here we go. Hi. Welcome to the show on a TVT. Hope you had an Aaron Judge sort of night. Congratulations. Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge, as we look back on a Throwback Thursday to 1961. Roger Maris' 61st.
You know what I say? Call the judge and get some fudge.
That's what he says. That's Rich Davis. I'm Steve Covino. Hope you had a great Wednesday night. We're getting closer, but I'm treating this Thursday like a Friday. Yeah, congrats to Judd. Anyway.
Hey, Judd did a good thing.
Who's coming with me? Let's be rocking out. Let's go. Thursday. Good college style. Drinks tonight. Wrap up your week. Get like one class tomorrow. Can't hear you. All I hear is just rocking out.
Bye.
I be rocking out and fixing my pump. By the way, look at my pump. By the way, I heard that I'm the new host of Pomp Rocks on SiriusXM. It's funny. True story.
I hosted on
Ooh,
Pop Rocks. Did I tell you that?
Yeah, that's why I said I'm the host of the new Pomp Rocks.
They asked me if I could do a fill-in last weekend on Pop Rocks. And I'll tell you what, it was so fun. And they would never do this.
You got to introduce two princes.
There was a sense of something they should do, but they would never do at SiriusXM because I guess it doesn't make sense.
Probably got to introduce some, you make me completely miserable.
I got to introduce songs
Definitely some Everclear on there.
that I never thought I would introduce
Did
again
you
in my
introduce
life.
yourself
Go.
as the handsome man with athletic thighs?
No,
Yeah,
but you know what I did introduce?
Jim Blossoms.
I may have, but I know I introduced
Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Everlast, which I had not introduced in 20 years.
Seen a rich man beg, I seen a good man sin, I seen a tough man cry.
Simple Plan.
I did that on Pop Rocks, on Pop 2K once in a while. I did a spot I got to introduce
Oh, so we're doing.
I Won't Tell Him Your Name.
Oh, Goo Goo Dolls.
Cuckoos. And it made me think that, you know what they should do? And they
Change
would,
their name?
They would never do it.
Cut his hair.
Not have
Get a new band name.
all of those things. But I think SiriusXM should every 6 months or so rotate hosts that are on
What, like
sort of similar channels.
like musical chairs?
In a way, like,
Nah, Pomp Rocks is way cooler.
no, but I'm saying, like, what if 1 month they're like, hey, Covino, I know you're probably sick of talking up the same songs on Turbo.
I'm good.
Go on Octane a month and then come back to Turbo, or I don't know, switch it up, because I feel like I could bring a whole new level of corny jokes to Pop Rocks.
You know what you should do? You should storm into Scott Greenstein's office and say, Scott, hey, listen, for April Fool's Day, I think everybody should switch it up.
Isn't that the old school radio thing, like where
Everyone does a different channel for the whole day.
I enjoyed
And you're like,
my
why is Rich hosting on Pop 2 Country?
woo wait. I think it's not a bad idea, but hey,
I would do it.
When you-
Introduce some Eve 6.
when you get to introduce random songs that you've never done, it
Introduce
really
some 41.
Hey, this is Covino. I'm usually on Turbo. I know this shit's corny, but here, take a listen to some Eve 6.
that's
Imagine
probably
it
what you would
play
do.
Something like that. I don't know. I really don't listen to it. But I could totally hear, if you want to buy me flowers. I could totally hear that song. It's a good song.
Pop
Anyway.
Rock's a good channel.
Yeah, it's a good channel. Thank you guys
Let
for
me
being here.
let me ask you.
Yes.
Now this is a random hour of Pop 2K.
I made one Pop Rocks joke.
What's wrong?
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
What would you talk about? I'm going to give you the 4 talks in 1 hour on Pop 2K.
Sure.
Coming out of Love Story by Taylor Swift, going into Panic at the Disco. I write sins, not tragedies.
When I was a kid, my uncle Angel used to wake up and slap us upside the head because we were playing like kids. And he would say, "This ain't no disco."
And that reminds me of Panic at the Disco.
And he's right, because it's Panic at the Disco.
Perfect. You're
right
hired.
here on Pop Rocks.
Shaggy Angel going into John Mayer Daughters.
John Mayer Daughters. I would talk about how I'm a girl dad. And I always make the joke like, I got one of those too. I got a pain in the ass. I mean,
That being said,
a daughter.
she's no angel. Here's Daughters on Pop 2K.
There you go. All right, let's see. If you would have received, you're so good. Nelly, EI. EI by Nelly into What Do You Want From Me? Adam Lambert.
Underlay.
Say, I know this is probably a hot take, but I think Adam Lambert is equally as good, if not better, of a singer, not performer. Not natural talent, but better singer than Freddie Mercury himself.
Change my mind. That's
Changed
Steve
my mind.
Covino.
No, Covino's great.
Covino on Pop Rocks. Pop Rocks.
He'd come out of EI, so he'd be like, underlay. Be like, that reminds me of Speedy Gonzalez. I was more of a slowpoke Rodriguez guy.
That is something.
That is something. Yeah, that is a good
Anyway,
one.
here's Adam Lambert.
You know what EI means?
Little buff on galoots, but
Oh,
he's a good singer.
The only thing cooler than Adam Lambert is Lambert the Sheepish Lion. It's Pop Rocks.
I'll give you one. Covino, ready? EI. What is he on Wheel of Fortune buying a vowel?
There you go.
EI, by the way, means bring it in St. Louis slang. And one last one. And then we'll get to all the hard-hitting stuff. I know you want to get
keep
to.
it going.
No, I'm
There's
curious.
no hard hitting.
I know. All right.
Only cheek splitting.
You're coming out of Paper Planes MIA, which is a great one-hit
great
wonder,
song.
right? That's a great one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
Into D12 and Eminem, My Band. I got it.
Go ahead.
Steve Covino on Pop 2K. Great use of the word underpants. D12 and Eminem, My Band.
I like it. I like it.
It's a good one.
Good one.
I like both of those songs.
Yeah.
I do. That's on Pop. That's on
Is,
Pop 2K or Pop Rocks.
Pop 2K.
Is back selling no longer a thing?
No,
I do it.
not according to company rules, but
Really?
Pop Radio makes their own rules
And by
sometimes.
back selling, I mean talking about the song you come out of, going into the next song.
They tell you not to do that, but I play by my own rules, like you said. Let me give you a couple more.
Oh.
Rich
I'll tell
Davis
you what.
is above the law.
Man,
Pop
bring
2,
it.
Pop 2K.
I love Pop
Sometimes
2K.
I look at the playlist. I'm like, it's actually a really good playlist.
If it wasn't for the person that was on during my commute, I would listen to Pop 2K every day. But I just can't stand the voice.
Who's that?
I'm not going to say who. I'm going to be nice.
I know who it is.
Pop Rocks or Pop 2K?
I'm sorry, Pop Rocks.
Yeah, Pop Rocks.
Pop
Spot
Rocks.
has a. I was gonna say
Sorry.
Alex D. I was like Alex
And
D's on your
whoever's
commute.
on in the afternoon on Pop 2K, whew,
Oh,
I have to
fuck
turn
that
I
guy.
have to turn that shit off. Like piercing.
Heartless Kanye into Pink. Get the party started. These are good songs from the 2000s.
Heartless. Better than assless.
That's what I've always said.
Get the party started. Kanye needs to get the therapy started.
You got to look at this
Nice.
glass half full, everybody.
Here's Pink.
At least you got a nice rumpy dump.
All right.
Pop 2K.
Pop 2K with Steve Covino. Nelly Furtado, Promiscuous Girl, going into 1985 Bowling for Soup.
Nelly Furtado. Better than a fur taco. That's what I've always said.
No.
Pop 2K.
Didn't you think Promiscuous Girl was Mystery Girl?
Yeah. Mr.
For years, I thought this was Mystery Girl. I'm a dummy.
Who doesn't love soup? I love soup. What's your favorite
And
soup?
I love bowling. In
And I love
fact,
bowling.
I would think I would like these guys more because I like bowling and soup.
Here's 1985, the heyday of my life.
1985, when Don Mattingly batted
when I peaked.
329.
Reminds me of the year I peaked. Here you go. Bowling for Soup.
2 more. Hey Ya, Outcast into Soul Sister, Train.
Soul Sister makes me think of my daughter because she sang that at a talent show.
And it makes me cry. Here's Train.
It makes me cry.
Kelly Clarkson
It's Pop
into...
2K.
last one. Kelly Clarkson into The Fray, You Found Me.
That's a great song.
You
found me, Steve Covino, here on Pop Rocks.
My bad dad joke I tell? I'm always like, they're terrible at hide and seek.
There you go. Thanks.
All right, hey, there you go. Little sample of what I do every day.
Thank you.
Look at these songs and try to think of something clever to say every day, which is why I think they should switch up who's on what channels, because I promise you.
Yeah, but you have to be passionate about the music.
Yes,
it is
no,
good, though, but, you know.
Mark McGrath on 90s on 9. Brie is saying, is it a little too corny? I like Mark McGrath, but he makes me feel like not corny.
He does a good job of like weaving
song titles and stuff.
You know, making giant leaps from one song to the other.
By the way, can we get me on Pomp Rocks? Pomp Rocks. Get it? Pompadour? Look at my pompadour. Pomp Rocks on SiriusXM. Yeah, now we're talking. Look at that. Curl for the girl. Steal your girl curl right there. In tribute to the Superman on a Throwback Thursday. Super Vato, man.
They should throw me on like
When are they going to make him Mexican?
They should throw me on Soul Town or like Heart and Soul.
Do it, man.
R&B hits.
You should do it.
Well, anyway.
Capable of doing all that shit.
But
it is best to be passionate about the music.
Yeah, or at least know the music.
I'm not really passionate about any of those songs, but I know all those songs.
No,
and I could totally do that.
I'm passionate from the perspective of I lived it. I was in my 20s while it was happening, and I have good insight on it. It's not that I'm passionate about it, but every song that I just mentioned was popular during a time of probably in my 20s when you and I were working together or something was going on, and I probably interviewed all these buffoons.
Yeah.
Now,
we're still doing our music stuff at SiriusXM, Fox Sports Radio every afternoon. That's going well. We cracked the top 20 on a personal note.
Pretty awesome.
In sports when it comes to our podcast. So continue sending it out to your friends. Tell them to subscribe.
There's your pump.
Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio.
Your Tom Brady pump from his first week press conference.
So thank you guys for that. Crack the top 20. Coming after Colin Cowherd. He's next. Let's go. And
I see you, Le Batard.
Yeah. Thank you for your support. Our patrons, our friends. Thank you. And again, hope you had a great night watching Aaron Judge tie the AL home run record. We'll talk about that in depth later on today.
Before we're going to talk about it in depth later, but I can't make fun of him the way I want to.
Why not?
On Fox. I will, but I can't call him a fucking dunce. The guy that dropped it? No, 2 people. The guy that almost caught it. No, and Michael Kay, who mentally prepared for this moment for the last 2 weeks. You thought Aaron Judge was gripping the bat tight, waiting to hit the home run. I think Michael Kay was gripping the microphone tight, waiting for this call, because he messed up a word. Instead of history, he blubs and he's like, Aaron Judge, who's chasing history.
No.
History. But he was a guest on ESPN last night, said at least he didn't fumble his words. So he's not owning that at all. Although I've seen other people say, all right, history.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. Honestly, pay very close attention.
History was made last night.
No, herstory was made.
And the 3-2. Drilled deep to left field. This could be it. See ya. He's done it. Number 61. He's been chasing history. And now he makes it.
History.
The Mariners are tied with 61 home runs. The most anybody has ever hit in a single season in American League history.
History.
Well, people don't realize that, although it was a very tense moment for Aaron Judge every time he stood to the plate and for his family and his teammates. Making that call came with a lot of pressure because you want to get it right. And you're going to get criticized. And, of course, he did. And he said history. But he's not admitting that because, like I said, he was a guest on ESPN. And he said he just didn't want to mess it up.
Oh, you
and
did.
At least he didn't flub his words.
I think it would have been cool if he threw in a holy cow just to tribute the original.
He tributed the original. This could be it. This could be it is exactly what Phil Rizzuto said.
Here comes Roger Maris. Just standing up. 61. Here's the windup. Fastball hit deep to right.
This could be it.
So that was a nod to
All right,
the
that's
scooter.
cool. All right, that makes up for the fact that
Very
he said
cool.
Hershery or Hishery. Hishery dickery.
Big night for Judd.
Judd.
Aaron Judd. This could be it.
And the 3-2. Drilled deep to left field. This could be it.
See
ya.
Come on.
He's done it.
It's a nod to the
Number
scooter.
61. He's been chasing history. And now.
Fucked it up.
Nah, I don't know.
Hishery.
Either way,
Hishery.
if you missed it,
Judd.
that ball was worth, I'd say, a good mill because he tied the record. And it went directly into the path of this dude who reached over. And it does hit his glove. That's the worst part. But it would have been a tough catch. Hit his glove.
What I love that
and
we'll
it's
get
so
we'll
tough.
get into more on Fox later.
Yeah,
I do love,
but it's history.
I do love.
I'm sorry, history.
How the guy did not hide his disgust.
Oh,
He threw down his glove and he like left the game like I'm fucking done. Like the guy was so mad at himself. It would almost be like saying like, Covino, I'm gonna throw you $500,000. Ready?
Like over a fire pit. And it just all fell in the fire pit.
puts his hands over his head,
Burned.
throws his glove, like miserable. It's so close to life-changing money.
Can't believe.
So it fell into the bullpen, and they got it back to Judge. Judge gave it to his mom, gave Roger Maris Jr.
you
a
know
big
what?
hug. Very nice moment.
It's kind of nice it happened that way.
Yeah, real nice moment.
Yeah.
Took away the drama. But wait until 62 happens, because you know what they're saying now? Worth $5 million.
Oh, what?
Could sell up to $5 million. That's what they're saying. If
Well,
not
I have
more.
a question. If it's
Yeah.
going to be worth up to $5 million, this
Yeah.
is not even a joke. Why would people not pay whatever it takes to get a left field bleacher ticket?
Take their chance, right?
No, because
you can even buy a ticket.
Bro.
You're
all right. So if you're playing
You're
the
in the
lottery,
running.
if you're playing the Powerball or lottery, I think Paul Demirchik, one of our best buds, listens to for years. Great dude. He hit me up with like some like math the other day. I don't even need to look it up, but it was one of those like
I deleted that shit. I don't like math.
Oh, thanks, Paul. Delete. No, I love Paul.
I gave him the thumbs up. Delete.
But Paul was like, yeah, you're right. Do the math. When people play the Powerball or Mega Millions, the chance of winning is 1 in, what was it when the Powerball was like $1 billion? Like your chance of winning is 1 in 400 million people. If you sit in left field during these last 6 games or 8 games or how many the Yankees play, left field, buy a ticket for a couple $100, your chance is 1 in a couple thousand, not 1 in 400 million. So your chance of winning $5 million, the best chance in your life to ever win $5 million is to buy a ticket to every Yankee game from this minute on for the rest of the season.
Well, what are the chances of this? And we'll
Yeah, but that's
move
a little
forward.
bit more of a investment than winning the Powerball.
No, Spot. But what I'm saying is like, let's say you spent $1,000 buying. No, not even a left field bleacher ticket. Let's say it's $150. Yeah, you spent $1,000, Spot, for the $1,000 with the chance to win $5 million.
You have to be. It's so specific.
I know, but
Like,
still,
are you close?
Zach Campbell does it.
You gotta be close to the front. You gotta make your way to the front. Do you just stand
You
where you
gotta know-
stand and hope that it comes
Yeah,
to you?
You gotta know who's pitching.
You know,
You gotta know the pitches. You gotta know.
Anyway, look at this guy.
It's close. Oh, throws his glove.
Did he throw his glove at someone?
he threw his glove just down because he realized he just
so
dropped
frustrated.
a lot of money.
He hit his glove. Oh. I was unsure if it did, but it did.
Did he throw his glove at that poor woman? Oh no, he hit that guy in the head.
Son of a bitch.
Look at that.
I mean, disgust. But again, what are the chances of? Think about this. No one's really hyping on this the way I'm hyping on
Here he
it.
is.
Oh, hold on. No, let me see what I'm saying. What are you hyping on?
And that fella in the Blue Jays jersey came to the game. Maybe he's hoping to catch the ball. Maybe not. Maybe it's a coincidence he's sitting there.
You know that on that angle, I didn't see that angle yet.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a
That's
tough
a
catch.
tough catch.
It's tough, but if you're a ball player, you could catch that. He's just not athletic.
Yeah,
You
but
would have caught
in
that.
the
I would
moment-
have caught that.
I don't think
Rich,
he
in
I
the
would've
moment,
absolutely caught
you don't
that.
know that. Yeah, you could catch that if you know it's coming in the moment. You don't know.
But if
You're
no
reaching
one,
out
you're
real
in the
quick.
front row, no one's in front of you. You're not battling other people.
But you just don't.
Do you know how to shake a fly ball?
No, I don't.
I mean, you do. So
To say that you would have caught that is absurd. Save it for later because it's absurd. You don't know what have went down in that moment, how you would have felt reaching over that guard.
It looks pretty
that
low.
Shit happens
I don't
quick
know.
as hell. That was his hardest shot of the year, 117 miles per hour off the bat. That was a rocket coming at you. Rich would have had it. You don't know that. But
I don't think it even came close to his glove. Wait.
No, they showed it. It hits his glove.
Does it? No, it's pretty
I saw an
downward
angle look
angle.
like it hit his glove.
It looks like a very downward angle.
Well, but it's still a tough catch.
I mean, you would have leaned
You're
over
reaching
like a son of a
over,
bitch.
fall over, and trying to catch it, break your neck. So it's a bit scary of a moment.
This is much worse than. I mean, I had to hang over the side for that. Remember that home run derby that I missed? I was hanging over, risking falling, and I didn't want to do that.
You don't want to fall.
This
into the
was just
stands.
right in front of the guy.
There's a sense, though. Go ahead.
That no one's really hyping on enough is what are the chances of number 99 breaking number 9's record? What are the chances of Roger Maris hitting 61 home runs, beating the Babe, hitting 61 in 61, and then 61 years later, Aaron Judge hit 61? Pretty cool.
He's going to hit more than 61. But yeah, no, it is pretty coincidental. 61,
doesn't change
61.
that it was 61 years later.
Yeah, no, it's
his record stood for 61 years. That's insane. The fact that he hit 61 in 1961 and his record stood for 61 years, that's weird.
I think that is pretty wild that it's 61 years from 1961. Yeah.
It happened in 61. It's 61 years. Wow.
Number 9 and 99.
Number 9
yeah.
and 99.
Yeah, it's all. I love when those things happen, but they happen all the time because numbers are just.
What do you think of this move from Kyle and PA? He would have jumped down in the dugout, shoved the ball up his ass, and got arrested, and still would have been worth it.
Well, no, that's what I was going to ask you. When you go over barricades you're not supposed to, they'll arrest you and be like, "Yeah, you're banned from the stadium." If you're in Toronto, what if you fell over the railing on purpose? Fucking grab the ball.
Oh, sorry.
And no one's taking this ball from me. You fucking get out of there. Like, I would take an arrest. Wouldn't you take an arrest? Wouldn't you take an arrest and being kicked out of the Rogers Center?
You don't want to go to Canadian jail.
Would you really do that?
You don't want to go to Canadian jail, Rich.
No, I think you would.
No, they pour maple syrup all over you and have a moose lick it off.
Oh.
That's what happens in Canadian jail.
I'm not like that.
That's what happens in Canadian jail.
I do wonder if someone tumbled over,
they punch you with
and
twos.
fell and grabbed the ball, would they be like, "No, you can't keep it"? And the person would be like, "What do you mean I can't keep it? Fuck you, I could keep it." That's like is that a legal debate?
Well, if you're not supposed to be there, technically you're trespassing, so you can't just take that shit.
Trespassing?
No,
I said
history.
history.
I said you're making history.
History.
That's what I said. So I hope you had an Aaron Judd sort of night. I mean, Judge.
Judd. Well, his friends
and
call
I
him Judd.
digest.
His friends call him Judd.
No one calls him.
No, they do. They call him
No,
Judd.
they don't. All right, so history was made last night, not history. And I hope you enjoyed your Wednesday. Let's have a great Thursday. This could be it. Covino and Rich.
Hey.
Now, on a Throwback Thursday, we like to reminisce a little bit.
This could be it.
And if you're having a crappy sort of day, Spot, I sent you a video from Mike. If you're having a crappy day, I want you to know that this is the best day ever. Oh. It is the best day ever. And if you're feeling down, I got something to make you feel good on a Throwback Thursday. Because it is the best day ever. And if you don't believe me, believe our pal Mike. Whenever Spot could show you.
Mikey boy. Mikey 525?
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys, I got the best news ever. Oh. I passed my road test.
Yay!
I have a driver's license.
Watch out, baby.
Let's go. Yeah. Holy mother meatballs and holy mother nuggets. I'm so happy that I did it. I finally did it. Let's go, man. I'm so happy. This is the best day ever.
Told you.
Best day ever.
You don't blame me? Now you do, right?
Best day ever.
I feel like a proud Miyagi, like a dad when I see this
Streets
guy
of
do
New
it.
Jersey are It's about to get interesting.
Oh, I love it, man. He hits me up all the time now. He's out of control.
He's such a nice kid.
He's a nice kid.
He texts us.
He's like, I don't get it, man. I make all these videos and no one's watching them. I don't get it, man. I'm just trying to be cool like you guys. Swear to God, he says that. It's heartbreaking.
Mike.
So I encourage him. Like, you're the man, dude. Just keep doing it.
Mike.
So I
feel
saw
like he's
that
more popular
today.
than us.
I was like, you go, Mike. You hit those roads and drive safe, guy. You got it?
Why don't we have him invite him on the Fox show?
I'm like his big
do a
Vato
segment.
brother that he never asked for.
He loves sports, loves New York sports.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I said, look, man, drive safe and be the man.
I got it.
And it made me think of passing my test at 17.
I got it. Mike 525. Oh, this is more of a visual thing. He just calls famous plays.
Oh, yeah. But here's the downside of that.
I would love to
People
have
will
that-
think we're exploiting him because he has a speech impediment. And it's not. Like, we actually think he's
Such
funny.
a passionate kid.
That's the fucked up part about it, right? It's like, no, guys. We really think he's a funny kid. I like what he does. It takes me back to like just being stuck in your room all day and he's having fun doing what he does.
People think we're making fun of him.
Would think we were making fun of him, and that's why you really can't do that stuff. Otherwise, I would love to include him on Do Your Best Aaron Judge Home Run Call it, right?
Yeah, but people would think,
Yeah, people would take it the wrong way. But it does take you back. He said he passed his test. Does that mean the written test and then you take the driving test?
I don't remember that.
'Cause I think
Every
that's
state's
what we
different.
did.
Every state's different. So
We took a little how do you do written test, and then you took your driver's
I
test.
feel like the written test was a no-brainer and you can't really fail it. I feel like when people say they passed or failed their test, they're
Right.
referring to the actual road test where you had to
He
like
said
parallel
finally,
park,
too. So I'm like, well, did he fail it a few times?
parallel park, 3-point turn, make a right, make a left. Did you have to do all that or no?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
But I
most
do
people
want to
don't.
say, if you were having a bad day or you didn't know how to feel about today, you haven't made your mind up, it's the best day ever. And I'm glad we made that clear.
Do you remember stressing out about any part of it? I know that
Yes.
I've always been a really good parallel parker, but people on the East Coast, that's the one thing people would worry about. Like,
Yeah.
the parallel park. My wife said, Texas? No, they just like give you your license. Other states, parallel parking? Nah, that's very New York, maybe New Jersey thing if you're saying you had to do it too. But
Yeah.
because there's a lot of tight parking in Brooklyn and Manhattan and stuff like
No, Dad, I
being
had
able to
to
parallel
take-
park was like that was the
Didn't you take driving school? Because I did.
yeah, for like a summer. I took driver's ed. Like
Some
in driver's
dude had to drive around with
He
me
was
while I
at the
hit the
high school.
highway. And you're like, no, you had to hire an outside service to get your
Oh,
permit.
our high school district
Yeah.
did it where it was like a class you took, and you took the written class, and then you went outside and drove through the cones, and then at the end, you'd have the driver in the passenger seat with his little steering wheel and brake, where that type of car.
Did you say cone? I love cone. It's got the juice.
No cone.
Oh, okay.
I love cone.
I went to, I used Mr. Lee's driving school.
Yeah, you took a driving school.
Oh, you had to do a driving school.
Mr.
All
Lee's
right.
driving school would take you around town, took
Same.
you to a parking lot, taught
Yeah.
you how to turn,
Yep.
taught you how to parallel park,
Yep.
and then you went and took your driving test on your own.
Same. I took some guy who was an asshole, real creepy guy, taught me how to drive. Then I, took the written test at school.
By the way,
Went
Mr.
to the
Lee,
DMV, passed the test, all
Not
that
Asian.
shit. No,
Mr. Lee.
he was a young black dude. Very nice.
but
All my siblings used him, which
I
is great.
do
We all learned
remember
from the
this.
same guy.
I don't know what the actual story was, but on a Throwback Thursday, you go on your birthday or something, right?
To get your permit.
Well, no, you
No,
go
to get my actual license.
No, you can get your permit, I believe, 6 months ahead of time.
Yeah.
Ahead of your 17th in New Jersey. It used to be, I don't know what it is now. It used to be 17. And then you go on the day of your birthday
Right.
to the DMV. I mean, you don't have to, but everyone wants to because they want to get it right away.
You want to get your license.
Everyone, you go the day of your birthday, you take the written test, and it used to actually be written and on a computer. And then you go out, you do the practical, and then you decide, you figure out if you have your license.
I don't think
or not.
people should drive until they're 18. That's my hot take. I really don't. I think
17
I think,
is young, man.
I think so. Well, it's maybe 17, but when people,
we did it,
When most
so-
states are like 16, that's wild to me. I don't think a 16-year-old has the capacity to fucking drive on
Depends.
highways and the road and everything.
Depends. Some roads not as busy,
16-year-olds,
too.
that's fine. They're too young to drive.
Out
I think
here in Los Angeles is tough.
I think it should be seniors in high school and like college freshmen, like 17, 18. Anything younger than that, I think that kid's got what it takes to drive. I really don't. I think they're not mentally, physically, I don't think they're prepared. You think a 16-year-old?
I know some 45-year-olds.
I mean, you're going to get some people saying you send kids out to war at 18.
Or
I think they could
46-year-olds.
drive at
No,
17.
18. I don't know.
I know some 46-year-olds that shouldn't be on the road.
Yeah, same. Yeah, it's It's not for
Scary.
the weak-hearted. But
They have like bad vision.
on my 17th birthday, I went there, and this is a weird story because I was so amped, just like Mike 525.
Oh, it's a fun experience. Yeah.
I was like, yes, let's go.
Best news ever.
Best news.
Passed my road test.
I don't know like what happened, but it was my birthday, and I went to the DMV. My dad took me or whatever. And I remember like either it was closed on my birthday. Is that possible? Like maybe it was a Saturday. Are they closed on Saturday and Sunday?
It depends on the DMV you go to.
Right? So they were closed, or I didn't schedule an appointment,
You know
or
what
something
it is?
happened. But either way, I was denied on my birthday to get my license August 9th when I turned 17.
And you went home all like,
Dude, I was crushed. You know how I always make fun of the kid that cried?
yeah, you were probably crying.
I couldn't keep it in. I was like,
17-year-old Covino?
Why? This is not fucking fair. Not fair, bro. That shit triggered me like you don't even know. Because I was so fired up. I'm like, yeah, buddy. Woo! Yeah! Just like Mike 525.
And then you go there and it's like Wally World's closed.
Shot down. And my dad, like, instead of like, hey,
Sorry,
don't
folks.
worry.
DMV's closed for
I
the
ended
next
up-
2 weeks.
I ended up getting it like the next day or whatever, maybe
You know it.
the next few days. But my dad was just like, hey, asshole. Meanwhile, I was crushed, man. That was the, like,
not fair.
I think that was the last time I really lost it and cried. That was
You
like
know
my
what it
last
could've been?
like little boy cry.
Not all locations.
Then you went home and laid on your mom?
Mama, I didn't know it was closed.
Because you have to do the physical driving exam. You have to go in a car and drive.
Yeah.
And not all locations do that.
You
So
gotta bring your
it's
own
very-
car, right? Like,
You have to, you drive. You drive there.
But what I'm saying is, like, there are some people that take it out of school and they drive their, like, some other car. Like, and then there was the whole key of what car do you want to drive on your road test? Because
Yes.
if mom
Yeah.
or dad had a
Fiat.
bigger car, and
Rather
let's say
than my
grandpa had a little
gotta see it.
little coupe or sedan or something that was smaller, you might be like, well, let me take my road test and that'll be easier. Like,
Yeah.
there was a strategy behind the road test too. Because if like mom or dad drove like a big minivan or something, you might be like, well, I don't want to take my road test in a minivan.
What did I take my?
It is a good feeling when you
Was
get
it
when you
my
pass your
Buick
test
Skyhawk?
when you pass your test. Know what it's like? There's great feelings when you're a youngster. When a girl touches your penis for the first time,
And that, you see how happy
When
Mike
you grab
is?
some titties
I
for
think
the
everyone
first
should
time.
give him a congratulations, by
when
the way.
the girl you like says yes to a date, there's great moments in your life. I think getting
First time
your
you touch a boob.
yeah, I said that, and I think
Yeah, you said they touch your weenie.
no, I said boob too after.
Oh,
that.
really?
Listen back. Probably passing your road test, and
How about
that,
the first time they touch your boob?
what about when you took your like last test ever? Remember in college when you're like, I took my last exam ever. That was a great feeling.
By the way, I'm
did it.
getting feedback that you couldn't hear Mike 525. Is that true?
I don't. Is something happening? Let me see.
Because if that's so, it really deflates me again, makes me want to cry.
Let's go! Yeah! Holy mother meatballs! And holy
Yeah, I mean, if no one's hearing it, we
no
would
one's hearing
we
Mike.
would have got feedback.
If no one's hearing Mike, then they're not hearing us.
Well, I hope that's not true. Either way, again, it does take you back to those great moments. I remember that day for me was ruined, and I cried like a little bitch. Looking back, so out of character for me to be that emotional about something so...
Probably because
That's
you were
how much
excited
it
to like,
meant to me,
You were
though.
excited to like pick up your girlfriend and
Yeah, I guess. Like, I was so pumped, and like, I had to tell all my friends, like, I don't know, I got denied, or
Do you
I
think-
didn't make an appointment, or they were closed. I don't remember what it was, but I do have one more story to tell you in regards to this on a Throwback Thursday. Go ahead.
Do you think probably driving around your girlfriend was why you were crushed? And also, did you get your car first and was it like waiting for you to pass your test, or did you get a car after you passed your test? Like, because a lot of times when people fail their test, the bummer is like the kid already like his parents like bought him a new car, or he saved up to buy like a used car, like whatever the case may be. Sometimes it's sitting there, and if you fail the test, it's just like even more of an insult because it's just waiting for you. I don't know if
I don't remember, to be honest.
those
if
are
I
little
had
things
my
I'm
car
surprised.
first.
Like Spot, do you remember, did you get your car first and it was waiting there for you to pass? Or did you pass your test and then be like, well, now I got to go get a used car?
I had a hand me down.
So it was just sort of waiting for you?
There, yeah.
Waiting
I
for
got
you?
a new car. I don't
got
know
it
if I
from
had
my
it before
brothers.
or after, though. So I don't remember those details. Again, shocking. See, I was so traumatized.
You see details?
I was so traumatized by not getting my license on my actual birthday because I was so pumped for it, like Mike 525, that it just ruined the whole memory for me. But I remember crying out of character.
I like this. It's a little good piece of Covino Rich history.
Yeah.
History.
But I will tell you this.
Explains a lot about who you are as a person.
So remember, Spot and I, we went to driving school. We earned our permit. Then on our birthday, we qualified to take the driving test and get our license. I took the written test in school at driver's ed.
Yeah.
But part of driver's ed, they brought in some simulator. And I've told this story before on the show, but now I got the added visual for it. So, Rich, on a Throwback Thursday, in tribute to Mike 525's wonderful Best Day Ever, our little unofficial mascot of the show, who's all grown up now, hitting the mean streets. They pulled some simulator. What they would do is they would take a car from a crash site, from an accident, and they would display it at the school.
This is what happens when you drink.
When you don't wear your seatbelt, when you drink and drive, blah, blah, blah. Look at this car. Look at this destruction. And you're faced to look at that.
It was a good campaign because I remember being like, oh, my God.
Yeah, it was right there on our school.
It's always around prom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I remember they had that, and part of this campaign leading up to you getting your driver's license, they made you take like a drunk car test simulator. Did you do that?
By the way, this wasn't part of driver's ed. This was everyone went through it because I did. I remember doing it.
Yeah. So this is still this like pretty much the same year. I was turning 17. So
you had to drive to do it.
You had to be in the parking lot. No, I don't think so, because not everyone had their license. So you're in the parking lot of the high school, and they set up all these cones, and this "Hey, don't drink and drive" campaign brings a simulated car that has like a delayed reaction to simulate you being under the influence.
Gotcha.
So you're driving this car and it makes it feel impossible to stay within the cones. You're like, whoa, and then the next guy goes, everyone takes a ride. So he's like, hey, that's what it's like to drive drunk. And man, you have to be, looking back, so shit-faced to have it feel that way.
Well, let me tell you.
Because when you're sort of buzzed, you're on high alert. You're like, yeah.
Let me tell you. Not that I drink and drive, but never felt that sensation.
Never felt that. It was an exaggerated sort of
It's like,
situation.
how you always thought
simulation
when you grew up that there would be more like quicksand in your life?
Yeah.
Like, this is the same thing. Like, when I grew up, I thought, when I drink and...
There's no quicksand.
If I ever drink and get in behind the wheel of a car, it's going to be like, the wheel's going to be weird and the pedal's going to be weird.
Now, the backstory on a Throwback Thursday is... This day I remember fondly because it was one of those cool school things where you got out of the class and you were just doing some stupid shit and you're just laughing with your buddies, right? But on events like this, because it was like, hey, don't drink and drive day, and everyone's hanging out outside doing this test.
Which is a wonderful message, by the way.
Yeah, it was great.
It's such a wonderful
message. But it was a fun day. It was a fun day. But because it was a special day at school, it was like one of the one days of the year where the yearbook committee was out taking pictures of all the kids, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I've told this story, and I swear to you, I stand by it. It's one of the best stories of my life because it was that funny and that peculiar.
Can I remember just a catchphrase? Because I don't know the story, but I feel like I remember something about like Rat Boy.
Yes. That's all you need to know.
Okay. Do you remember this spot or no?
So the yearbook committee's there, and I shit you not, dude. Like, remember I tell you the story of the Jersey Moose? And I said I was smoking a joint with my buddy Justin outside by 7-Eleven, and we were on a quiet street.
And you swear.
All right, maybe it wasn't a moose. It was like a big fucking deer, like antlers and everything. So maybe it wasn't a moose. But in our mind,
the story of the Jersey Moose is better.
In our mind,
it was a moose.
You once told the story to actor Jason Segel.
Because in my mind, it was a moose. Dude,
And
I'm from Jersey.
And you said
that was the closest.
And you said it was, if I remember correctly, it was a chilly night, so you even saw the air coming out of the nose of the moose.
It was a rainy, chilly night, right? We're on a quiet street, and this thing comes running. Imagine we're kind of like blazed up a little bit, a little under the influence. This thing comes flying down the road. We feel it breeze by our pompadours. Fucking Jersey Moose.
Picturing like
the legend of the Jersey Moose.
I'm picturing a moose like from, when my daughter's watching Frozen, like that big old moose. This is what I picture.
It's that kind of deer. Yeah, it was like that. came flying by us. I'll never forget my buddy Justin's face. He's like, we couldn't believe it. We were like, I can't believe what I just saw. So that is a true story, but it's exaggerated. This story is no exaggeration.
I'm picturing Sven from Frozen Spot,
Right.
that big old animated movie. I'm picturing Covino having a joint with Justin and a big fucking moose.
We heard the gallop. It was quiet as hell. It was late at night on a side
Sven?
street. It was on a side street. Right off of Morris Avenue. Wherever my buddy Justin lived. Can't think of the name of the street. You remember all the street names?
I do. Most of them.
Lillian, maybe. Lillian Terrace? I don't know. But I'll never forget that shit. But my point is, it's exaggerated. Because there's no way it could have been a moose. It was just a big, giant deer with antlers. But we were dumb Jersey kids. To us, that was a moose. To us, there was no difference, really. This story, no exaggeration. We're at this driving simulator fun day at high school, Union High, 1993-94. And the yearbook committee's out there, and they're like, you guys, take a picture. Yeah, it was like, honestly, Spot, it was like one of those giant...
This is my favorite GIF, and it's always labeled as the most Canadian GIF ever.
Oh, because it's Tim Hortons on the dashboard.
Tim Hortons. They're driving down a Canadian road. There's a moose running by, and then the moose slips on ice and just falls.
Yeah. Whoa.
It's the most Canadian
I'll never forget
GIF.
that. There's a part of me that wants to hit up my buddy Justin, but...
It's not real.
It's been years. And be
Haven't
like, "Yo, dude,
talked to you in years. Tell me about the moose.
What do you remember from that? Did we dream that together? Did that happen? But anyway, I'm at this driving thing, and the yearbook guy, some guy I'd never seen before. I think they hired professional. It wasn't like the nerd with the camera. It was like a professional dude.
Really?
As far as I remember, it was someone I didn't know. Guys, for the yearbook, gather around.
It's probably just a nerd you didn't know.
Me and my buddies, we gather around, right? We're just posing for the picture. It's on this day, the driving simulator day, right? And I swear to you, we're all looking at this dude, and he had one of those like old school fucking goofy looking cameras. I remember that. And we're there, and he's fiddling with it long enough for one of my buddies who had marbles in his mouth. Like he had a speech impediment himself, this guy.
Yeah.
So when he said this, it made it more funny. He goes, oh my God, look at that guy. He looks like a mouse. There was a guy next to him, like the photographer's assistant, right? The photographer's assistant was the most peculiar looking being I'd ever seen in my life. Now, when I say Rat Boy, it's like that movie Rat Boy with the guy with the tux. The dude looked exactly like it. And then we're sitting there like trying not to laugh. And the dude with the marbles in his mouth goes, he's smiling at us. And we look, and the mouse boy was so happy.
His whiskers.
Dude, the mouse guy was so happy looking at us that everybody looked at that kid, right? Yeah, exactly like that. Dude, when I say exactly like that, I know it's such a random story, but I swear this is the truest story I could tell you. We all looked at this guy. We're like, who is that? We'd never seen this person ever in our life. I assumed he was the photographer's assistant. We looked at this guy. He was smiling at us. We all, I've never exploded in laughter.
Like this?
Hold on. I've never exploded in laughter harder in my life than when this happened. And we all looked at this kid and we were like, bah! Click, and it made the yearbook. And I didn't have the photo last time we talked about it.
There you have it. There it is.
There it is. And I had to turn around because
who was the one that said it?
the guy with the black t-shirt, like, look at that guy. Oh, look at the guy. And he's speaking out the side of his mouth. And dude, yeah, and that's what we were looking at.
God.
And and all of us, you can see my buddy to the left too. Like he's dying, but he's cut off. My buddy Rich on the right, like we're just dying in that moment. So I'll never forget that.
He looks like a rat boy.
And when I saw Mike 525 all excited about his driver's test,
Got you thinking.
passing, it got me thinking of all that build up and all that anticipation to finally get your license with your picture on it, your ID. It just really meant something so cool to you. And that's my story on a Throwback Thursday.
Rat boy.
I told it, but I didn't have the actual photo to prove the moment. And you know what? People till this day, they remember that photo from the yearbook. And they ask me, they're like, I swear to God, dude, what were you guys laughing at?
And then you have a great story to go along with it.
There have been people like, dude, what were you laughing at in that photo? because it's a funny picture in the yearbook, and we're dying in it. It's a real photo.
There he is.
I'll never forget that, man. And you know what? You want to know the funny part about it? It was one of those moments too where we're hyperventilating, laughing. They took the picture and walked away. And then we wanted to tell our friends, like, because we were horrible teenagers, you got to see this kid. He was a rat man.
Let's find him.
We never could find that kid again. Never saw him the rest of the day. It was like, where did he come from?
Rat boy.
How did it happen? And that's the story on a Throwback Thursday.
There you go.
Getting your license.
Good one.
Best day ever.
Good one, Steve.
Best day ever.
Thank you.
You ever wonder how you're...
I'm just happy I found that photo.
How you going to handle it when your kids drive?
Oh, I get so scared about it. Yeah.
It's a scary thought, but then you wonder, like, well, what type of car are you going to get them?
Well,
are you going to split it with them and be like, all right, if you whatever money you earn at your part-time job, I'll match you? Or are you going to be like, I'll get your first car? Are you going to make them pay for the whole thing? Like, what's your strategy? New car, old car? There's so many parental thoughts and questions.
Here's the thing. You don't want to spoil your kid, right? But you also don't want to put them in an unsafe situation, right? And if you can get a lease for about the same price as you can get some shitty used car that could be potentially dangerous and you got to deal with.
I will say, I don't think there's many. Here's the difference. In our
Potential problems.
lifetime, things have changed so much that, again, you know how we talk about how things change as far as like, not relevance, but like people could stay relevant longer because of social media. And 40 and 50-year-olds could know and watch the same stuff that a 20 or 30-year-old would watch because it's a much smaller world now. Everyone's on some form of social media and everyone knows what's going on in a different way than back in the day. I think there's no such thing as an old, used, shitty car the way it used to be. Because if you were in the 90s and you're like, old, shitty, used car was probably some beat-up 80s jalopy. Now, honestly, it's 2022. If I showed you a
diesel gas sucks my ass.
Like in 1997, right? In 97, Spot, follow me though. In 97.
Where are we going?
We're going to the 90s. Spot, you ready to quantum leap? Are you ready to leap?
Oh, man.
You should get an effect spot where you just start blurring into like white.
And like, I have that effect on you in the intro.
So let's quantum leap back to my body in 1997.
Why 97? Yankees lost that year.
I know.
96. 98.
No, I'm 96, 97 when I'm getting my license. In 1997, if I had a 1989 or 1990 Plymouth Acclaim, like a shitty car, it's only a 7 or 8 year. It was an 8-year-old car, right? And I thought it was a piece of garbage because compared to what was going on in 97,
you wanted a probe?
No, meaning like
no, but he really wanted a probe.
I wanted a probe.
Get it? A probe.
But follow because I think you agree. In 97, 98, a car from 89 or 90, which is a roughly 8-year-old car, felt like it was 100 years old. Like, oh my God, it has no features. It's the worst. So that's an 8-year-old car. An 8-year-old car right now is a 2014, 2015 model. Sarah's CRV is a 2015. We got it when we moved here. Does that car seem terribly outdated?
My 2012 Hyundai Sonata, 2012, is actually very sleek looking and looks pretty modern. It could be a current day car.
I'm just saying
they haven't changed the style that much.
Cars haven't changed as much, meaning all of a sudden they got these safety features. Yeah, new cars will have CarPlay and driver assist and things on the dash and different features. But the reality is airbags and safety and all this. A car from the 20 teens seems not that old, but when we were in the 90s, a car from the 80s felt like an old jalopy.
Even body style changed so drastically from the 80s to the 90s.
Yeah.
But body style, I feel like there's really nothing left to do. Outside of those futuristic looking cars.
They might curve them a little different, but Covino, think about it.
There's really not much left to do in design.
Think about it from the perspective of
I've been, because I got a 2018 with 50-something thousand miles on it, and I'm like, do I keep it and just give it to Melody when she turns 16, 17? That's only 3 years from now.
That's probably the move, right?
I don't know.
2018?
I don't know.
Also,
when will she be driving? In 3
years.
2025. So it'll be a 7-year-old car and a Honda Civic with all the airbags and everything. Might be a good first car for her.
I mean,
I don't know.
I drive a 2006 Mini Cooper.
But that's more of a novelty thing for you to have a convertible and stuff.
But outside of the convertible, the body style of the Mini really isn't much different than a current one. All that's different is the bells and whistles inside.
And
to you, though.
And a
to
little
you,
more
because
polish.
you're an older guy who doesn't care about little things. When you're a young person, you care about the little things. I remember thinking, yeah, that's not how the headlights look on the new ones. You're more aware. And
it's a little different.
A little.
Now. I agree with what you're saying.
Pickier about those things. Those things just don't matter to you now.
Agreed, but when I was
coffee today.
My new car, right, is a 2020. 2 years old, pre-owned. No different looking than the current 2022. And honestly, not much different than the 2016 or 2018 or 2017 cars. You know what I'm saying? Like, cars haven't changed as much over the last decade or so as they did from the 80s to 90s. Much like technology and much like movies and stuff. Remember how we would talk about how a movie in the 80s or 90s seems so much different than a movie from the 60s or 70s? I don't think a 20-year-old movie, I don't think a movie from the 2000s like Wedding Crashers or The Hangover seems that drastically different than a rated R comedy now.
Much like when we were in high school, when I showed up in my 1984 Buick Skyhawk in 1998, there's going to be kids showing up with 10-year-old cars, and you're going to notice it compared to the kids that are showing up with 2023 Teslas.
I'm torn on it. I'm torn on it, Spot. I'll tell
I
you
don't
why.
know if it's perspective or
2023 DeLoreans or Ford Mustangs. Mach-E's.
It's tough to tell if it's perspective or real.
Because it seems real
to you, but you've never been a car guy.
But Spot, when I look at my wife's car,
but
which, by the way, someone brought up that car could probably last us forever. It's a Honda it's a 2015 Honda CRV with 50, 60,000 miles on it. We could probably have that car for a long time if we wanted to just keep it.
You're seeing through the eyes of an older guy.
Yeah.
It's like Kanye West saying, you ever heard him say he doesn't listen to the opinions of old people, just young people?
And I get that. And
You're
understand
going to be
that.
like, what's the difference? But the kid has different perspective, and they're comparing that car, which is okay to you, to brand new cars of today that their friends have, and they're like, yeah, that shit looks old.
I feel you.
So I don't know.
Spot, let's do a side by
I feel
side.
your point, and I get it.
Let's do a side by side.
Maybe it's not as drastic, but to a kid, it might be different.
I feel like there's something weird going on with kids.
Yes.
If anything,
I think you just end there.
Okay.
Something weird.
If anything,
going on with
I
kids.
think the kids might be more into older cars.
I don't know.
But I mean, ironically older cars, like a 2015 Toyota Celica.
I have a question.
Did they make the
Spot,
Celica?
Spot, look up, just to wrap this up, look up a Google image, since everyone got video today, right? Yep. Perfect.
Well, in order to do this, go ahead.
2015.
Look up a 2015 Honda CRV.
Honda CRV.
And now look up a 2022 Honda CRV and see if you can do a split screen for us. Because I think that, you're going to be like, ooh, this one looks, the headlights are a little different. But I don't think the 7-year difference is as drastic as a 7-year difference from like an 80s car to a 90s car. I feel like we happen to be getting our cars.
Yeah, but a parent didn't think that then either, probably.
But
that's what I'm saying.
I think a car in the 80s or 90s, like the body shape and everything drastically changed. Like an 80s car is very boxy still and very people have like Lincoln, like old bigger ass metal cars. And then I think in the 90s, it was a big change. I could be wrong, but
I just think our eyes haven't adjusted yet.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
To realize what the cars look like now and how futuristic they're going to be in just a few years.
I think the insides, Covino, are what changed the most. Like when I sit in like a 2022, when I was doing some
what you're saying feels right.
When I was doing some shopping recently, when I was looking at cars, the biggest observation I made was all interior, like dash, console, features for the dashboard and the wheel and the driver assist and all the stuff. But I think the exterior of the car has not changed much at all. It's all I feel like it's all interior changes.
No, there's been a change. So here's the Honda CRV, right?
Okay.
So here's the I can't do a side by side.
Okay.
But here's the 2015. Okay.
Okay.
Pretty standard, pretty basic.
That's Sarah's car.
Yeah, this is a good shot. So this kind of shows you the feel.
Honda CRV 2015.
Here's the 2022.
Yeah, but that's also from Honda's website. You just took a picture. You just took a glamour shot from Honda's website.
Yeah, but
and put it next to like a used car website.
But like, it's the sleekness and the body style has changed.
It's a Hyundai.
Oh, you're right. Oh no, wait. There it is. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's not drastically different, is what I'm saying.
To you.
To me.
It looks more polished and sleek.
Well, it's also because, again, you just took a glamour shot from the mall from Johnny Calabasas and put it against.
Sorry, Rich.
No, but you know what I'm saying. We could wrap it up.
Let me find a personal shot of the Honda CR-V.
Well, on a Throwback Thursday, you could say it's a matter of, I guess, choice. Do you want to get your kid a brand new Civic and pay $240 a month? Know that it's going to be safe, no breakdowns, no problems. They don't have to worry about it when they're on the road. Maybe get some sort of plan in case they have a blowout or whatever, in case they need some assistance, and have a good, secure feeling about this car and it's kind of cheap anyway? Or do you get them a used car where you're facing those potential problems and those issues?
Doesn't also
my parents see, it's also a perspective of I was very spoiled, and why would I want my kid to have any less than I had? I had a new car, brand new car, and it was nothing crazy. I had a 93 Sentra.
But look at it this way.
But it was also safe for the time, and there was no worries for my parents. And if something happened,
besides talking about smut and buttholes, on Nicole and I talked about this recently on the Have Kids podcast, where
mudholes,
where's the line? And I brought you up too as an example of trying to balance this. Where's the line of spoiling your kid versus having them learn lessons? And I don't think any parent could really nail that down perfectly, because, dude, let's say by the time Melody's driving, you got some fucking big contracts in the works and things going on. Why are you going to be like, oh, honey, you got a fucking old shitty used car? Like, that wouldn't make sense. But then again, I'm thinking, do I appreciate the life I have now because I had
But here's the reason for the
shitty
old,
first cars?
Here's the reason for the old shitty car. They're new drivers. They're more likely to ding it.
No, I know.
Bang it into things.
I get it, Spot, but I'm saying
not treat it like they bought it.
But the idea of...
So they're not going to appreciate... Like, yeah, of course.
Are those really lessons? My question is, are those really lessons? Spot, is that a lesson? Like, if you had a shitty used first car, is it like, well, I learned the value of $1 and that's why I appreciate my nice car now because my first car was a 80s Plymouth? Or is that just rationalizing, and would I be just as happy as if I had a fucking brand new car in 1990 something?
Well, there's lots of ways to teach lessons. I paid for my car. I did. I swear, I paid for my car.
Well, you were making $500 a night at Bennigan.
Like,
So
no. It was I remember it was like, man, I don't know. I'm drawing a blank here. There's a 7. It's either 147 or 217. But I had a 93 Sentra, so
probably $200 a month,
right? So I was paying $200 a month. I was under my parents' insurance, and they probably put the down payment down for me. I don't remember actually, but I know that I did my best to make those payments. So therefore, that was my lesson learned. I would try to pull off some shit like that too. Like, yeah, Melody, I'll help you get that car, but you're going to split it with me.
I think that's,
you know what I mean? Like,
I think there's got to be some type of get your kids nice shit with the understanding of like, we're going to do this together and you're going to earn part of it.
What's wrong with that?
I don't think
I was working at 15, so I was making at least $200 a month.
It builds character. And Spot, before you make your point, Stu makes a good point.
Stu always makes good points.
If he had a spoiled friend who like drove his dad's Escalade into a ditch, and the dad's like, I'll fix it. Like, you don't want to be the fucking jerk off that's like, here, kids, take everything and fuck it up. And
I'm not getting Melody some snazzy car. I can promise you that.
I know you're an Andrew Hart kind of guy. He says used does not inherently mean shitty. I feel like when we were young,
it did.
Used meant shitty.
Well, they did a great job of rebranding the word.
Certified pre-owned. A used car, you can get like because people are trading in, they're turning them around, refurbishing them, doing whatever, and selling them.
There has never been a better rebranding of a word in our life than used to certified pre-owned. Like, technically, it's the same thing, but when you get a certified pre-owned, you don't feel like you're getting a used jalopy. It's like, I have a certified pre-owned. I bought my first used car in, honestly, 20 years.
I feel like your last car was certified
pre-owned.
No,
I bought a car that had like 80 miles on it because the dealer used it to like drive from lot to lot, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll give you a little." That's a great deal, by the way. If you ever know, I don't want to give away my secrets, but you've done that too.
I've had certified pre-owned for
No. The
a long time.
When you go to
that too.
When you go to the dealership,
that was my last car.
When you go to the dealership,
My last BMW.
when you go to the dealership, you'd be like, "Hey, do you guys have any like in-house cars or something?" And a lot of times you'd be like, "Yeah, we have a car that's like has 800 miles on it because we drive it from dealership to dealership, and it's like our company car." And you're like, "All right, can you give it to me for $20 less a month?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." And you're like, "Fucking great."
You ever trip out on a car and try to remember what it was like to be in the car? Like, do I remember?
I remember
Like,
every
do I
car
remember
I ever
like?
sat in.
And then like you could play that game too. Like, do I really remember like being with that girl and squeezing her cheeks? I don't know if I can
Honestly,
really. Can I put myself in that?
I remember the experience of every car I've ever driven.
I can't.
I do.
I can't remember like. Oh yeah. Well, where was?
Like my 1984 Buick Skyhawk. What a fucking piece of shit. It had a loud sound to it.
I would love that feeling though.
Not very great pickup, but it was fun to drive around.
Get back in that car.
Certified pre-owned.
Then my 1991 Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra S. Really smooth ride. Not too big. Red interior, nice and plush. Had the pull down shift.
Yo, imagine dating a girl who's like a real whore, and she's like, "I'm not a whore. I'm pre-owned."
Then when I drove over something in the road and my transmission
Rebranding.
bled to death, then I moved on to my 1995 Chrysler LHS. That thing was a boat. That thing was like docking a boat. That thing was huge, but smooth ride. Felt old. Felt classy.
What are you talking about now?
All my cars.
Oh.
After that, when that car died,
Wasn't
few
being a
months later,
bitch rebranded to Strong Woman?
my mechanic gave me mechanic gave me a 1987 Honda Accord. That thing was a piece of shit. It was a hatchback. Fun to drive. Made a turn once and the axle snapped in half. And that's when I bought my 2007 Honda Civic SI. And that was one of my favorite cars of all time.
The only thing I remember about when I first met Spot, he had a car that had like a different colored door.
That was the 1987 Honda Accord that I got for free.
And I was like, I remember being like, man, this guy's on his hustle. I remember Spot was like,
I believe it had roll down windows.
He was like interning at all these places, and he was like, 20 something. I was like, Spot had roll down windows, and like his front bumper or door was like blue, and the rest of his car was gray or tan or something. I'm like,
that was
who
my,
is this guy?
no, that was my 1991 Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra. That because I had gotten in an accident driving back from college, and I had a friend replace it, but they never painted it. So it was just a white bumper, and the rest of the car was red. It was great. I love cars.
Good luck to Mike 525 and takes you back, doesn't it?
It does. I do you purposefully to wrap this up. Sorry, one last thing. Do you purposefully lately want to not that you want to get sad, but do you purposely say like, hey, let me go down this memory lane a little bit and see how I feel? Because I feel like lately you've been doing that.
Me?
Right? Yeah.
No.
Like
what?
Not that you're trying to spark emotion, but like
No, I try to think of
like
conversations.
the other day, like after our first day, I'll give you one.
Yeah.
After our first day of Fox Sports Radio, I had the feeling and sense of, man, look at us.
Look at us.
We're in our 40s.
Look at us.
The team's still together. We got kids. Spot went to Bora Bora. I have two little munchkins running around. Covino's daughter is almost a fucking teenager. I almost that night wanted to be like, tonight's a really good night to just look at old Covino and Rich pictures. Do you ever purposely provoke yourself?
Look at us. Who would have thought?
Not me.
Like
It
I'll
happens,
look at a
but
picture once in a while.
I'll fall in a wormhole. I don't.
I'll find myself looking at a
rabbit hole.
picture of me and you, Spot, just for the hell of it, for the smell of it. Before we move on to all the hard-hitting stuff today, can you find a picture of me, Covino, Sammy J, and you at like spring break Acapulco, and just think to ourselves, this is us, just like
Show?
15, 20 years ago.
None
It's-
of us knew where our futures would be right now.
Yeah, this is when we were living in New York. This is before I met my wife. This is before you met your ex, before kids, before Spot had a beard, before he had a heart surgery, before he reunited with Kristen. Like, we're talking like this is a lifetime ago. So the fact that we still do this together, when people are like, man, like so many people are like,
Look at Rich.
man, you guys still doing this together, huh?
Look at Rich and Nussy Heaven in 07.
Look at that. That's me. That's single me.
That's when you were a nussy hunter.
That's me in 07. Oh, what? 06, 07? I
happened to
don't
the-
know. Oh, that's
Spring break 07, Acapulco, baby.
that's me just being like, yo, hey, I'm like pretty single, and I'm like in my 20s working for Maxim. Yeah, pretty single.
Nussie Hunter.
That was my status spot. Pretty single. Pretty single.
Cute, Rich.
But I mean, Covino, when you look at you rocking some like Affliction t-shirt with like your sunglasses on, you're like, yeah, rock out. It's like 05. Aren't you like, holy shit, that's a different me? Like,
I don't know how I feel about
Sarah looked through these photos before she was like, who is this guy?
I don't know.
I know her dad did. Look at me.
Okay.
Look at
that.
I mean, I'm just like,
They
hey.
were probably just playing a game of Who Wants to Touch My Dinky. And she was like, yeah,
Who
I
wants
will.
to touch my dinky?
All right, girl, here's what we're gonna do.
I was like, ready?
Whoever gets the song, whoever sings the song, whoever gets the song gets to touch my dinky.
Catch a Nussie by the toe. If she hollers, let her go. My mother says to pick this one. Touch my dinky.
That was a fun game. I used to love that game.
I was pretty single at the time.
You know, to tie it back, like my thoughts are different.
Look at us.
I'm wearing
Look at
a
that.
Trojan helmet. I love it.
Look at
Those
it.
were the days.
Those were the days. Let's
Ah.
go back.
Those were the
Take me
days.
back.
Yeah, it's over. It's done.
Do.
No, it's done.
It's over, but it's
on.
great. It's great to reminisce.
It doesn't
and,
feel that long
A
ago.
40-year-old guy at spring break.
it does make me feel good that I feel like we all stayed mentally and physically enough young where like
Look at this guy.
it's like when they do a reboot of a show, it only works when everyone's sort of
Look at
similar.
this guy living life.
Look at you.
Look at him.
2022 spot would have been like, all right, now you guys
Look
suck
at this
my
guy living life with these lovely young ladies. Oh, what's going on here?
2022 spot would have been like, now suck my dick.
When are you gonna post On the Level our documentary for tier 2 subscribers?
Oh,
For tier
Yeah,
2
tier two.
subscribers, that'd be great.
I don't think that's the
It was
time.
us at our most
Oh, I remember this girl.
whorish.
Very lovely.
How do we make it back there? You just through memories and pictures and
Dream about it.
Very.
oh,
That girl, she's about to bite my cheek. Look at that.
God.
What is she thinking?
Covino and I have the same thought all the time. How come neither one of us?
Bang this girl.
Yeah.
Thank you for filling in the blank spot.
I don't know who that is.
And then I'm like, then so many times the answer is, oh, we had girlfriends. And then I'm like,
You were pretty single.
I was pretty single. That's I was pretty single.
The biggest line of bullshit I've ever heard.
I was pretty single.
I wish I can catalog my memories better.
Like,
meaning,
where-
like,
you
I wish
know-
I had all my cars. I wish I had pictures of me and all my cars along the way. At this point, you know, to tie it back to what we were just talking about, when I think about that stuff, I feel like, man, how many cars have I gone through?
Do you ever wonder? So this was
And I don't have pictures of them
2007, which was 15 years ago.
15 years ago. Hey,
15 years ago. Do you ever wonder where? So these girls were probably what, 18, 19?
I still got that shirt, I think. Let me
they're on
see it.
spring break. So probably, yeah, let's just say, let's round it up to.
in their early 30s.
I still got those sunglasses.
So that 20-year-old, the 20-year-old
Maybe-
girl in the 20-year-old girl in a pink bikini
like
is now a
probably
35.
married.
Probably has 2 kids. Probably is like has a corporate job or something.
I'd love to I wish there was a way to jump into the photo, figure out who they were.
I mean, hey,
Barefoot Jones.
I'm glad we had those experiences. You know,
And I don't miss them as much as just hate that time is moving fast.
Oh no, I miss them.
Like I don't miss them. Like I don't be like, man, I really wish I could go to spring break. I think that
I miss them.
oh man, it just sucks that chapter's fully over, and it just means life is moving
I
along.
don't look at it that way. I look at it like there's
Say, wait,
different fun we can have.
Does
like
it really
I'm pumped
suck
about
that
like our next
chapter's
road
over,
trip.
Rich?
Oh, that does suck, Rich.
Really
Look at
sucks.
that.
Sucks.
They're like, you got a square head like Herman Munster. Herman Munster,
Did I?
but you're cute.
I don't know. Did I? don't
Look at me
know.
in the
I was
back.
pretty
Look at me.
single. I was pretty single.
You were
What am I
pretty
doing?
single during those days.
Pretty single.
Yeah, that guy. Oh, you didn't with this. This is the green bikini that was on your
I
lap,
was
so
pretty-
you didn't.
I was
right?
pretty single. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Huh.
Those were the days.
Those were the days.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Come on, you can do it.
Pretty single.
Throwback Thursday.
Can't.
Boy, the way Glenn Miller played.
I mean, look at this photo. Look at
one last one.
Look at the joy of us. That's just Johnny Bananas. Rich is really excited.
We're hanging with Johnny
I look
Bananas.
skinny.
It really is Johnny
God, I look so
Bananas.
skinny in this
It
photo.
really is Johnny Bananas.
You know, there's just random girls. Covino's, of course, sandwiched between two guys because he was so
on a Throwback Thursday.
It's like
I specific. There's stories that we tell that I'm like fuzzy on, and then there's other ones that are.
You're a professional nussy hunter.
No, but then there was there's stories. There's stories.
If you want to see a nussy hunter in his natural habitat, there he is, right there.
If you ask me if I've ever stood next to Johnny Bananas, I would say no.
But there you are, though.
But there I am, directly next to Johnny Bananas.
I think sometimes about like when
I think a lot.
That guy I'm standing next to.
I don't know.
Is that Kevin Federline? Who is that?
Kevin Federline.
Peekaboo.
Who is that guy?
I have no. Is he a listener?
I have no clue.
I think back to that was the dude you went home with that night.
Yeah. Like honestly,
that was your gay phase of 07.
Yeah, that was a gay week. I think I had.
Sammy.
I remember some things so fuzzy, but then other things so clear. And one thing I remember so clear
Johnny Bananas.
was the night I lost my flip flops.
I remember that night too.
The night of Barefoot Jones. And that's when you were like, where's Rich? And that was when the group of girls was like, you come here. And they're just funny times, man.
Rich lost his shoes.
Yeah.
Just walking around. Didn't care. That's how drunk he was. Making out with chicks.
Good times.
Yeah.
Good times. Hey, but you know what? How'd we get here?
But you posed a question.
Old cars, old memories. Oh, it was.
Do I like to force those thoughts? I don't.
No, I don't like. I guess maybe I do. Maybe I do try to force them. Because there are times where I'm like, if like Sarah and I have an anniversary or something, I'll be like, you know what? Let me go look at some old photos of Sarah and I, reminisce a little bit. Oh, there's our first date. There's when I first met her. And then sometimes
do you put on through the years while you listen to him.
No, but you know
don't
what?
like looking like shit. I don't like
the fact that you look good now is the only reason why this isn't sad.
You wanna look good for as long as you can.
You guys look pretty much the same.
We don't look terribly different. I mean, we look like we got older, but we don't look.
I'm always chasing that. Like, I gotta fucking still lose 10 pounds.
You're much more tan.
We aged appropriately. I'm tanner because I live in LA. I was so white in New York.
I always love this girl. Because she reminds me of my wife.
Let me see which one.
Hold on. I always loved this girl.
I remember her.
I do too.
I remember her too.
Except she's got giant
That's random.
She's got giant knocks.
I remember that girl.
Look at her.
It just know what song I listened to the other day? It happened to just come up in the rotation on my music.
Buster Poindexter, hot, hot, hot.
No.
Oh. I bet you I'm close.
No, it made me think about my good friend, Judd. No, your dad, Big Steve Covino.
Aaron Judd.
Forever Young.
The only song my dad ever listened to?
It happened to pop on it's in my music library. So when you put things on shuffle, you never know what's going to come up. And all of a sudden, Forever Young started playing. I'm like, all right, let me really listen to the lyrics because I know this meant something to Big Steve. So if this is the one song,
most heart-wrenching moment in my life because it was so out of Dad's character. My mom printed the lyrics out to Forever Young the day I graduated high school.
Jeez,
17. It was not too long after I got my license. No, this is right before I got my license, right? No, I'm trying to think.
Well, remember, it wasn't on your birthday, so it would have been the day after.
So either way, it was the day I was graduating, because I remember that for a fact. My mom's like, your father wanted you to hear this song today. I'm like, okay. What song is Dad going to play me? Jethro Tull? Sitting on a park bench. My dad only played like one song ever. And it was this one. And I'm like, oh, God. I thought I was going to bust into man boy tears.
But you wasted your last tears on your road trip, on your road test.
Yeah. It was hard.
But
because when you're reading the lyrics, you're like, Dad wanted me to hear this? I wonder if that's like a lie. Like Mom was like, tell him, Stephen, that you wanted. Maybe it's probably my mom's idea.
It's a 30-year-old hoax.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a second, Dad wanted me?
I gotta tell you something. Your mother made me do that. I think that's corny. Yeah, truth is, I never did it. Your mother did that. Truth is, I said I ain't doing that corny shit, and your mom's like, yes, you are.
That's probably the real thing. Yeah. And it's tough. Put it up.
The night before, your dad was late from Hot 22s in Union, and your mom's like, well, if you want to make it up to me, here's what you're gonna do.
Yeah. And I'm like, wow, this is tough. And you know what I remember thinking though? I'm like, all the times I heard this song, I never really thought about the lyrics and what it meant, what it was about. Ever.
Stupid bitches.
Yeah, stupid bitches.
Is it true that your mom played Forever Dumb for you?
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Good one, Ephraim.
Forever dumb. Way to go.
Richie, I want you to hear this one. But Memory Lane is
nice.
I
It's nice
prefer
from
to
time
hang
to
out
time.
on Mockingbird Lane. That's where I was last
I
night.
know.
Memory Lane. Memory Lane for Spot.
Rich was on Nathan Lane.
Nathan Lane. Only Murders. Great character.
Is he on that?
I love to reminisce, and I love to bring things up that spark up those memories here on the radio
I'd rather
show.
spark a doob.
But
Cheesy Rich looks there.
sometimes sometimes it's just a mind fuck. Like, where did it go? So I try to stay away from that.
You look genuinely happy there, Rich.
I know.
And then I feel bad.
I wonder why.
Because I was
You were pretty single.
I was pretty single.
Staring at some tatties.
I was pretty
I
single.
feel bad because I don't want to get old. And no one really admits that. I'm here to tell you, I don't want that shit. I don't.
Yeah, but if the alternative is that dying, you know.
Yeah.
So
I don't want that either. Yeah.
I look at when I see someone that's old, I'm like, at one point they were not like wrinkly and like, and I'm like, one day, God willing, you will be, and just fight it.
You know what I'm thinking about though, to continue on but move forward? What I think about is, because you're saying, are those days over, right? I'm thinking, are my days of freely boozing over? Because I don't feel like it does me any good if I want to stay youthful and feel good. You know how booze hits you and like, oh, I can't recover like I used to.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get sloppy anyway. Sloppy like his jalopy. But I do think, well, if I want to feel youthful and feel good, even a few drinks isn't helping me. And they add up. I'm like, are those days over?
That's why I shifted.
Do I have to stop?
That's why I shifted.
I don't want these fucking bags under my eyes. Like, is that the reason?
You don't think that's the reason I shifted to edibles?
Well, that's where I'm at now. I'm like, well, if I want to maintain a good feeling about myself and not wake up feeling shitty, and I want to feel productive, and I don't want to look tired, I'm like, maybe I stop that. And again, for the record, I only drink on, what's today? Thursday. From Thursday to Sunday.
You
Which
see
is
that,
a
you
lot.
see that thing where it's like, I only drink on days with tea. Tuesday, Thursday, tomorrow. There was like something. Today, tomorrow, Thursday, Tuesday.
Yeah, I like this week.
I think I have a White Claw. Those sound badass.
The days have gotten a bit longer.
That was the best part of Cobra Kai when Johnny Lawrence was like, White Claw sounds badass.
Yeah.
Watermelon took
like-
a piss.
And then he keeps drinking it.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
I'm hyped up on White Claws. What?
I forget. That shit was.
I'm hyped up on White Claws, motherfucker.
I'm glad they incorporated that.
It's so funny though because Johnny Lawrence would be the type that didn't hear of White Claws and thought it was badass based on the name. It was
badass.
perfect writing for that show, right?
great. Like-
Sounds badass.
Sounds badass.
White Claw.
I have one of those.
Like the reason Covino chose Mighty Swell to drink because he's like, yeah, Mighty Swell.
Mighty swell.
Fuck, what was I gonna say?
Talking about booze.
Yeah, so like the other night, our schedules got a little longer. It was the end of a long day. I'm like, I really want to drink right now. But you know what I said to myself? I have to wake up tomorrow and do it all again. So I'm not gonna have a drink tonight because I don't want to like groggily wake up the next day.
And you got to look at yourself.
Yeah,
Most people don't have to look at ourselves the way we have to look at ourselves.
I don't
That
like
blows.
to me.
You think I want to read a comment that says, look, Covino, he looks fat and bloated. Like, do you think that makes me feel good?
Like,
as much of an ego as I have, and I'm like, go fuck your mama. It still sucks because I'm like, oh, maybe he's right. I shouldn't be drinking so much.
Like I went,
I'm a little puffy today.
like last week, I went out for a former coworker's friend's birthday, and it was at a brewery. I'm like, at a brewery, you got to drink beer. So I drank beer, and I had like 3 beers, and I felt heavy and gross. And the next day, I was like,
This is the old guy segment of the day because the other day it was National Beer Day, and I was like, I remember saying on Sirius, I was like, I'll be honest, I'm a seltzer cocktail type of guy. Like beer, I will only have a beer at like a baseball game if someone's like, "Hey man, I'm back for the concession stand. I bought you a beer."
I do appreciate it.
That's the only time I think
do
I'll
enjoy it. I do. I thoroughly enjoy a good beer.
One day you'll make the switch like I did, and you'll say, "Man, you were right."
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Jen Brown. Thank you, Lynn.
Edibles changed the game for me.
But I'm saying, like, when you see those, bags under your eyes, and you're like, looking at the pictures from 2002 spring break, I do say to myself, maybe I stopped the alcohol. And by no means am I overdoing it. I really don't. I barely get a buzz. But that just to me says, hey, it's the weekend. I can relax a little bit.
I'll still socially drink. Like I drank last night, and it did not. It did
What
nothing.
was last night?
It did nothing for me. But I just felt like from the social perspective, I had 2 vodka Tito soda at John Legend.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was going on stage to introduce him and do all the announcements. So I was like, let me loosen up a little bit. Let me have a drink.
Tell us about that. As we celebrate, this is our Coolio celebration show.
Oh.
So we were going to get to that in the Rando News.
Well,
he's in Gangster's Paradise.
Rick,
send some prayers.
Rick Gentry, what's up to you? He said, Rich, you finally recommended a good show. Watched Reboot, and it's great.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
He's taking a fantastic voyage.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
Gangster's Paradise.
Come along and ride on a fantastic fly, flippity fly.
To Gangster's Paradise.
Right.
Man.
Great song.
Coolio. You know, they said they tried to revive him for 45 minutes. Because you know the whole... You've said this before, like, when is someone really dead? Like, you don't know. You might be one fucking compression away from bringing him back. They worked on him for 45 minutes, really hoping that they could get him fucking going again.
59.
From the second you find someone, right?
You got what? He said like 15 minutes?
No.
Well, that was dismissive.
No, I mean, first of all, you don't know how long they've been down, but they'll keep working on them. So the second they work on them there, try and get them stabilized. We'll load them up, bring them to the hospital. We'll try and revive them, do all that crazy doctor shit. And then eventually they're just like, how long's it been? Call it. Did you watch doctor shows? Did you ever watch ER?
No.
Like, call it. Time of death.
But that's the whole thing. No one really knows.
I used to watch Dr. Ruth.
Anytime someone gets revived, what if the doctor or paramedic or someone 10 seconds earlier is like, man, did what we could, call it.
No,
then they wouldn't have been brought back. Like, you don't know. That's why when they went to work on this guy, because you never know. You could always be.
You ever meet Coolio? You ever interview him? I never met Coolio.
Generally,
I don't think so. But then if I did, I feel like
there's different forms of like heart. Like you can be in VFib, where your heart's just kind of like shaking or like beating fast. Or if you're usually when your heart stops when you're in asystole, I feel like they don't.
I was in Sicily once.
They don't really. There's no other option because your heart's done, and they can shock you and try, but they can pump you full of drugs, but that doesn't mean it's going to work. They usually try. When they say they tried, they've tried everything. They're not just going to be like, oh, one more pump's going to do it. They've tried everything. I'm glad you guys are so interested.
One more pump gets you a penalty flag.
Yeah.
I saw it at the Lions game this weekend.
Don't pump too much.
Hey, Spot.
Yeah.
Hey, Rich.
I'm a 2-pump chump.
Hey, let's hear about, and
I didn't go.
Give Coolio his proper due, but let's hear about this John Legend thing. What was it like seeing some old faces?
Everyone,
when I say old, I mean everyone else got old.
Everyone looks fucking decrepit. I told Spot when I went to SXM in New York, though, I did see some people that I had not seen in a long time. And when you don't see someone for years, you're like, oh, it's almost like seeing someone with aging technology. Does that make sense? I'll give you an example. Spot had no clue who I was talking about. And I was like, of course you do. Remember the Asian engineer that would like set up broadcasts at the fishbowl?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
He's
pretty sure he was Asian.
Are you sure he's Asian though?
Yeah.
Pretty sure he was Asian.
He's like vaguely
He's
Asian.
maybe Filipino, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Kind of baldish.
Yeah, that dude is like more bald with like some gray now and had like reading glasses on. So I was like, we knew that guy when he was 20. And now you see,
Yeah.
right? So,
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the first time you brought it up to me, I didn't know who you were talking about either. So you don't look the same anymore.
No.
Wow.
So I
Oh my God, my kid brother's been shot. I think it was an Asian gang or something. I saw someone, he looked Asian, and he was speaking another language. I'm pretty sure it was Asian.
I think he was Asian.
I think he was Asian.
But
pretty sure he was Asian.
Yo, there was a
He was Asian.
there was a
Man.
they had that event last night at a really cool venue that I feel like you've had this feeling I feel like this is a typical Covino.
Was that where we saw Ed Sheeran?
I think this is no. I think this is a typical Covino statement. I feel like I've been here, but but I haven't. But have I been here? Like, I don't know. The El Rey Theater on Wilshire. We passed it all the time when we were at the old office on Wilshire. The El Rey.
I'm about to watch El Rey on Netflix.
And it was a cool venue. And I'm like, have I been here? I've been here before. No, I haven't. Or have I? Anyway, cool small venue.
I do trip out with things like that a lot.
Well, have I been here? No, I haven't been.
And then I convince myself that, no, I think I have.
And then I'm like, well, I've been to so many venues, and I'm sure they all sort of look similar enough. Fuck it, who knows? But, it's just a lot of saying hi to old faces of, people that we used to work with. A lot of congratulations on the new Fox gig. A lot of like, hey, how are the guys? How's Covino? How's Spot doing? And, just had a drink or so. Talked to Mark Zito, talked to our buddy Jared Fox, talked to Ross, the random faces that we used to work with, Jim McClure.
You know what I feel, though? I feel like nobody really cares, though. I
mean, do you care about them?
I feel like I did until I realized they didn't care about me.
But they didn't do anything to you.
Yeah, they didn't do anything to you.
But still, it's like that.
They actually like you. Everyone likes you.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hope so. I never gave them a reason
No, but I'm saying like you might. I mean, you're like,
I just wondered, do
they don't care. I mean, do you care about them? Have you asked Jim McClure how his life's going?
I don't feel Jim McClure fought for us the way he should have. That's the
I don't
truth.
think it was his job to fight for us at that point. I think
Still think he should have.
Even if he did, was like, even if he said like, I think you guys are making a mistake. Please keep Covino Rich. I'm like, yeah, Jim, sorry, it's budget. What is he supposed to do? Like, I'll put my job on the line.
But I still am very fond of Jim McClure. He gave us our first shot.
Yeah. He says hi. But, just a typical, I mean, it's not a great story. Just waiting around, saying what's up to people.
Hurry up and wait.
For 15, 20 minutes. I was watching the Mets game on my phone. And
Gary Cohen had a nice call.
Oh, my God.
He does nothing to fire me up, though. He really doesn't.
Are you out of your mind?
I'm not a
He's the
fan.
best announcer in baseball, and that's like a common sentiment.
I get that. I know that. Does nothing for me. You sound like a nerd. It's like a nerd getting all hyped up. I don't like him. I don't. And I don't like the unnecessary hate that Michael K gets.
But you think Michael K?
I think it's a matter of you like what you're familiar with.
Yeah, but the sentiment among unbiased people is that Gary Cohen's one of the best, and John Sterling and Michael K stay.
I admit, I know that's the sentiment, that he's one of the best.
So
I personally don't like him. I don't think he's good.
So, I mean, you don't think he's good? That's insane to say.
Preston, what do you know about my relationship with these people? You don't know anything about my relationship with these people. These are people that give me a pat on the back and said, sorry, you're done here. And I'm like, I gave you so much.
Yeah.
So she doesn't know. She's like, don't expect what you don't give. You don't know my relationship with them.
Oh, but hold up. Before you play this spot, Escobar, I'm watching the Mets game, and Jared Fox, our old school buddy, who like he's like a president now.
I'm proud of that guy.
He's
I was
a good
never as
dude.
close to him, though, as you were.
Yeah, Jared's like runs things. Like he's a direct report to like our CEO and stuff.
I feel like
it's amazing. That really is.
He's a really nice guy, but he like sucks out people's souls and then like keeps going.
That's amazing.
There's something like very methodical about
No,
it.
because we saw this guy climb the ladder.
He was Tim Sabian's assistant.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And now he's
Tim Sabian.
He's the boss. You know he's all the people that you've heard us mention over the years, like Spencer's and all these people. He's their boss. Like he's the boss. So him and I are watching the Mets game, the last inning,
because he's super handsome. Like
and maybe good at what he does.
Like Patrick Bateman, super handsome.
So he and I are watching the Mets game, and we just feel so good for not only the Mets. The Mets came from behind. They were losing 4-0. They won 5-4.
I came from behind last night too.
And the Braves lost to the Nationals. So the Mets are up one game now. And Escobar is responsible for all 5 Mets runs. I'm sure you saw this on the highlights, right?
Of course.
2-run home run, 2-run bases loaded single, and then in extra innings, he hits a game-winning hit. And
1-1 to Escobar. And Eduardo punches one through the hole. Base hit. Here comes Lindor. Blade with the throw to the plate. Lindor is safe, and the Mets win it.
Let it breathe.
Listen to that call. What a call.
It's the month of Escobar. 5 RBIs, including the game winner of the 10th, and the Mets win it 5-4 to go a game up on the Braves.
That was the big criticism yesterday.
Announcer.
Was Michael K didn't let the moment breathe at all and made it all about him when it came to Judd's home run last night. I mean, Judge. So So that was it. No, you were more focused on the game.
Oh,
than John
we
Legend?
watched that. We were pumped, and
See Chrissy Teigen?
I did not.
What a shame.
Got on stage, and it's just so funny how people treat you when they know who you are and don't know who you are. It's very funny. Like, even like Zito's like, I'm like, Mark, I'm trying to find parking. Should I park in a garage, a street? He goes, pull around to the back. There's like parking for like employees, but I'll meet you there. Some guy's like, get the fuck out of here. Like, what are you trying to park here? I'm like, as I'm talking, Mark's like, oh, he's the guy hosting. And the guy's like, oh, sir, right this way. And I'm like, it's amazing how people's instinct is being an asshole, but then if you're who they need to accommodate, they change your tune. You were a fucking dick like 5 seconds ago. And now you're like, oh, Mr. Davis, this way.
That's funny.
Like, fuck
Sure,
you.
you're not the first person that showed up to that parking lot.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is the immediate bad attitude of like, hey, fucking slow down. Where do you think you're going? Turned into like, oh, Mr. Davis, like, yeah, right this way. Like, could have been kind to start out with.
Did you stay for the event?
Like 2 songs, and then I was like, I'm
Was
gonna
it
bounce.
dope or no?
It was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
John Legend on a piano up close. I'll be honest, it was pretty cool to just see him at a piano. I got up on stage and did the basic like, yo, what's up, Los Angeles? Not bad for a Wednesday night. Who's ready for the show? Blah, blah. We give it up for John Legend, and then called it a night. But
Cool.
it was cool. Those small venues are fun.
They are. Small stage series, baby.
Do you say, I'm Rich Davis from Pop 2K?
I say,
I'm Rich,
you
chilling
can hear
on
me on
stage.
SiriusXM. Pop 2K, The Pulse, Hits One, everywhere. Like, that's what I say.
Did you say I'm Rich chilling on stage?
Rich chilling.
So let's go to the phones real quick before we move on. 412, the letter C in our show. 412-267-7469. Who wants to say hi?
Miguel.
Hey, Miguel.
Miguel. What's up, Miguel?
Focus.
Orale los tacos locals on a Throwback Thursday.
What's up?
Hey, y'all. Y'all are like you East Coast guys love y'all's baseball just like us Texans love our football. Hey, Rich.
Yep.
It's going to be our month here Saturday, brother man.
What do you got Saturday?
It's going to be our month.
October. That is my month.
And right. My birthday's Saturday and yours is when?
The 7th. My
6
birthday
days
is the 7th. Yeah, next, not this Friday.
I
Next
thought you
Friday.
meant Halloween is upon us.
Oh,
You'll be Halloween.
My fake 10-year anniversary is coming up.
We talking me and Rich.
Yeah. Vato. Yeah.
Orale.
Have a great
Hey,
weekend.
the Most High let us be here another year, brother man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
God bless you, buddy.
Libra season. Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Yeah.
Remember meeting Miguel in Texas and he had a straw hat on?
I do. I fucking love Miguel.
All Miguels wear hats.
All Miguel.
Well, hey, there you have it.
Well,
That was just a little. I mean, honestly, I wish there was a story where it's like, and then I saw this person shit their pants, but it was really an hour and 15 minutes to get there. I had 2 cocktails, talked to people. I was there probably for an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe. I was there from probably 7:30 to 9-ish or so, and I was like, yeah. This part of my Instagram story, I posted like 10 seconds of John Legend, but it wasn't a song you would know. This is another time. I walked up to the very front to take video, and some guy's like, hey, can't go there. I go, I'm the guy that was hosting, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Right this way. Oh, you could take video. I'm like,
so
oh,
sorry. So sorry.
Is this
my Instagram story.
Is this it?
Yeah, right there. Oh, no, that's not. It's fine.
Oh.
Someone's cheeks.
We follow a lot of cheeks, huh?
No,
We do.
His story. Rich's Instagram story.
I thought you meant
My story
feed. Oh,
sad
sorry.
to tell.
Rich's
You
story sad to tell.
Yeah.
Sure? No, that's
That's Jim Cantori wearing a baseball helmet.
With a baseball helmet on. All right, John Legend's small stage concert. We're going to be introducing him in a few minutes.
Running through my veins and my skeleton. When you say my name in the high, no, it never goes away.
I'll be honest, if it wasn't a school night, I was trying to convince Sarah. I was like, Sarah, let's get a babysitter tonight. And she's like, I would, but school nights are trickier than weekends because kids got to get to bed and get baths and like, I don't know, it's a pain in the ass during the week. But if Sarah would have went, I would have made it like a little romantic John Legend
I
night.
have to bathe every night. Just wipe them down with a baby wipe.
Don't just wipe them down.
I didn't shower today.
No, that little fat folds in their neck start to smell like cheese.
Oh, is that what happened? Even after a day? After one day?
But
I know Ben's sticking his head in a bowl of oatmeal, but
guys notice the oatmeal mess every morning?
I do.
Fucking like.
I was gonna say something, but I just figured it's a little hectic in the morning.
They're kids, so you can't really be like, oh, be neat. Ben's fucking 2.5, but every day Sarah makes some oatmeal, and our table, floor, and everything just like it's like Ben might as just be like bah! So every day, oatmeal cleanup.
I'm so bummed I didn't go last night.
It's dad life.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? All right, well, that was my night. Mets won. I was happy.
Speaking of special nights,
did the work event. That was
tonight
cool.
Is my mom's like. What anniversary could it be for her high school? It's her high school reunion, like her 50th.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it has to be.
Well, hold on. What year was your mom born?
53.
So she graduated high school in.
Would be.
Or maybe they couldn't have it because of COVID.
Yeah.
My dad had his 50th a couple of years ago, and my dad's a little older than your mom.
And my dad's like, I don't want to go. Your mother wanted to go. Ew. And then my dad, he's trying on all his button downs, and he's realizing that none of them fit him.
It's her 50th.
You're 50. Well, your mom.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you something. Your mom looks beautiful, and your mom should go because it'll be a self-esteem booster. But can I tell your mom what your mom's going to do the whole time? Ready? Steven, look at how terrible everybody looks. Do I look like that? I hope I don't look like that. That's going to be your mom
in for a rude awakening.
That's going to be your mom
that's
going to be your mom for hours because that was my dad. My dad was like, why is everyone with gray hair and canes? Like, your mom, who feels and looks young, is going to be sad and happy all at the same time. Sad because it's like, look at everyone, Steven, these are our classmates.
Well, they also have classmates that, let's say they're pushing 70, right?
Yeah.
Not every 70-year-old married a 70-year-old, right? So
True.
Some of their classmates are with people that are like in their 80s.
It's true.
It's 80s night.
Yeah, some of the women may have all married older.
Yeah.
Or men.
Right. And my mom and dad went to the same high school, but my mom graduated before my dad because she said he was an idiot when he was a kid, so he was left back.
I never knew that story. Wait, your dad graduated after your mom?
He got left back in like kindergarten. It was like nothing serious, right? But yeah, I didn't know how to finger paint. Hey. So my dad knows all the same people, but he's going for my mom's graduating class today.
Yeah.
He's, again, like I said, in the process of trying on shirts. Like,
this one
don't even fucking fit
He had to go to Target to get a shirt. He had to go. Go up to be like, Dad, go up to Target and get a new shirt.
I said, just get a new one. So then he's putting on all these other ones. He's going to wear a Covino Rich polo to the anniversary.
Well,
like, dude, just get another shirt.
Go to Target. Go to Target, Big Steve, and get a button down for like $19.
It don't fit.
You deserve a new
can't
shirt.
buy them.
And Big Steve, while you're at it, get a new pair of shoes for like $30.
know.
Like, just give you.
It's just
if
when you
you're
get
not
older,
gonna,
you're
if you're
just
not
so
gonna
reluctant to do
if
those
you're not
things.
gonna get a new shirt
So
for
funny.
a 50-year high school reunion, then when are you gonna get a new shirt? That's the question.
Just do it for mom. You know, so you look handsome. My dad will be there looking slick. You know, my dad still wears an earring.
Ted, I didn't know you married Kenny Rogers.
So funny. Well, my dad looks, like you said, looks good for the other people out there who come with their walkers and everything else.
Yeah. So hey, tell him to have fun.
So have a great time.
Buy
Mom
a new
and Dad.
fucking shirt.
But they're going to be, I think
deserves it.
They're
He
going to come back
deserves
having
it.
fun. It's like we didn't miss a beat. But they're also going to be depressed seeing how old everybody looks. My dad should wear his old platform shoes.
Throw it back.
You're right, Jason. That'd be sweet. But
reunions are a fun time. You know who doesn't like reunions?
I mean, a lot of people nowadays
People that don't like reunions
are people that were nerds in high school.
Well, no, people that don't look good, or people that have had trouble, and people that don't want people to know what they're up to because they're maybe sort of bummed out where their life turned out.
Yeah.
That's not everyone, but when like I have a buddy who was going through some rough moments, and he didn't want to go to our 20-year reunion.
It's understandable.
And I remember
you don't want to be partying with people and things are not.
No, but I'm saying, I remember saying to him, like,
really
come on,
that
man,
good.
let's go. And he's like, bro, I don't want to go. I'm like, I'm like, dude, no one cares. People just want to just see your face. And he's like, yeah, but I'm not in a place where I even want to talk to anybody.
I totally understand that.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. But
really
if someone doesn't, if someone's reluctant, maybe don't push him, because the reality is they might be like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to talk to people, because they could be like, what have you been up to? What am I going to say? Lost my job. My wife left me. Exactly. I don't want. He's like, I don't want to talk about that.
I feel like shit about.
You know who wants to go to the reunion? The guy that's like, yeah, I'm a CEO now, and look at my fucking trophy wife. That's the guy that wants to go.
My takeaway.
Look at it.
We can move on too, but is how much that type of shit means to people of my mom's generation, where it really doesn't mean nowhere near as much to us.
It's really fun, though.
Like, they really keep those memories near and dear. Like, their classmates. Like, you moved on to so many different things in your life.
Well, your parents went straight from that to being moms and dads.
Yeah, so that was like their last, like, hurrah.
Yeah.
You know, so my mom is super pumped about that. I just hope she feels good and has
and
a
you
good
know
time.
what? It's
I hope they both have a good time.
the reunions are always fun. And when people say, why would you want to go? I hate the worst. Oh, you know, I hate rise and grind. I have another phrase that I hate. When people say, bling, bling. Why would I want to hang out with people that I haven't wanted to hang out with for the last years? Because you go to a random bar, you go to like a Buffalo Wild Wings on a Wednesday night, and you're among, what, a couple hundred strangers? And now if I told you, hey, go to this bar, and you're going to be around people that you spent your childhood with.
And have memories with. And shared
So don't give me that bullshit of like, well, if I don't talk to him now, why would I want to talk to him? You know, because it might be nice to be like, holy shit, Doug, I haven't seen you in a long time. How you been? Even if you make one connection, it's a really nice night.
For the record, I've gone to every reunion we've had and have had a blast. Went to my 10th, my 20th, 25th? I don't know. But whatever, all the ones we've had, I've gone to. And it's been fun. 50, that's tough.
That's a fun game you can play.
I couldn't believe how old everybody was.
You should, if you're like a single dude going to your high school reunion, you should try to make almost like a checklist, like almost like a bucket list, like make out with the prom queen, punch the high school quarterback, give him a little like, hey, what's up? Like make like a little like
they have to
scavenger
wear.
hunt.
Here's what I suggest: that they wear name tags because
they all should.
Yeah, I hope that's like standard because you
They
can't
do.
expect people to look the same.
I wore a
And
name
sometimes
tag
it's
on my
like-
20th.
Yeah, I don't think we did. I don't know. But either way, that's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Fucking shirt don't fit.
Buy a new one, Big Steve. Just buy a new shirt.
Bullshit.
Why don't you buy your dad a new shirt? Go order it on Amazon same day and just have it sent there right now.
Is it like Tom? Can Tommy lend him a shirt or something?
Yo, I'm not giving one of my shirts, yo. He'll stretch it out.
He'll never give it back, you. So that's the update
I
there.
got to bang some bitches this weekend, yo.
Now, in Rando News, the only thing that really stood out, we already touched on. No, because we already touched on it.
No, I want to play it.
Rando News.
All right, fine. Rando News.
It's a
It's
a
day.
visual show. Come on.
Hey. Rando News, September 29th, 2022.
Newsies.
Throwback Thursday. Snooze.
Rest in peace, Coolio. It's really a bummer.
Yeah. I saw that. 59 years old. And I don't know what his reputation in the rap game is, but I can tell you this. Gangsta's Paradise is commercially one of the biggest rap songs ever.
You think so?
Yeah. Michelle Pfeiffer in the video. Coolio. It's a cool song. I didn't know at the time that it was Pastime Paradise from Stevie Wonder. At the time.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize
Stood out. He was a fun guy. Fantastic Voyage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get your woman on the floor. Gotta get up to get down. Gotta get up to get down.
I love that song.
That was another good one. I don't think Coolio got the credit he necessarily deserved. He had a smash, though. He had a smash.
Yeah.
Even very popular, reputable rappers, I don't think had that type of commercial success that song did. Like, Rich, you're a guy that lives in mainstream. Coolio was one of those guys.
Everybody's so glad you're here. It's Coolio, put the flow back in your ear. This ain't a fantastic voice, but I'm still on the mission to see if I can get your attention.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Gangster's Paradise. What's the third?
Fantastic Voyage.
Fantastic Voyage. So he has 3 fucking.
They all
as
had
the
big
kids say. As the
videos,
kids
too.
say now, he's got 3 bops. Right?
And
He's
he
got
had,
3 big hits.
You know, the videos
hits
to go
that-
along with them. So
you know all the words to all 3 of those.
I don't know all the words, but
What is it?
When you get there.
Oh, see you when you get there.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
This is, you know what he's saying. I'll see you when you get there.
Name the movie that this is the
You know what he's talking
ending
about.
credits to.
Being in our Lord's kingdom. I'll see you when you get there.
This is the ending credits to a great movie. What movie? See you when you get there.
I don't know. Tell us.
Let's see if someone
The
gets it on
suspense is
feedback.
killing me.
You love the movie. I feel like Covino has seen it but doesn't give it the same love he should. No, crank this up. I love this song. This might be my favorite Coolio song. It's really nice.
I believe I can reach, but your mind ain't prepared. I see you when you get there.
See you when we get there.
Let's go high.
See you, Spotty, when you get there. The very ending of a comedy classic that doesn't get enough credit. Tim Robbins, Martin Lawrence, Nothing to Lose. Nothing to Lose is such a good movie. It's really one of the
I know it's not
funniest.
about heaven, Lisa
How
Claus, yeah.
fucking great is that movie?
I'm saying it's about heaven. Just like Gangsta's Paradise. Not about heaven.
Yeah.
59.
Just like Fantastic Voyage.
Do you not give that?
Going
Do you not
to
give that
heaven.
movie enough credit?
I don't think I've seen
on.
it.
What?
No, I don't think I've seen it.
On a Throwback
So-
Thursday spot.
Yes.
Can you find the clip of Nothing to Lose? Because I feel like Covino would love it. Because you know Tim Robbins, right?
Yeah. Hey, he's been on the show.
And
Nice
Martin
guy.
Lawrence in the 90s? How funny is Martin Lawrence in the 90s?
I liked Martin Lawrence.
What clip do you want?
I mean,
I didn't love him.
his feet are on fire funny.
Oh, Scatman?
Raptor
I
in
mean,
New Mexico says, how many
fucking great movie.
Coolio fans are out of the woodwork? That was a huge song.
if it's
Gangsta's
out of-
Paradise was a huge song.
I think it cranking Coolio every day.
Yeah, I think it would be out of the woodwork if we were like, we're the biggest Coolio fans. But he had 4 great songs, and the guy died at 59. So we're just saying, what's up? Saying we pay our respects.
And he was a colorful character, right? He was funny. He's a funny dude.
Yeah.
He didn't take himself so serious, but it's, you know.
Something stinks, man. You sure you ain't got a gas leak?
It's my shoes.
Your shoes? You ever heard of Dr. Scholl?
I spilled some gas on my shoes at the gas station. You know, the one you robbed.
There's a spider on your
Look,
head.
I am sorry. I am not up on all this jive-talking homeboy lingo. What's that supposed to mean? There's a spider on your head.
It means there's a spider on your motherfucking head, man.
Well, get it off! Get it off! Get it off!
I ain't touching that shit.
Get it off!
You've never seen this? No. Oh, honestly, an hour and a half of your life.
Nah. It's funny though. I like the Scatman. This has a killer soundtrack.
Yeah.
That's what I got out of this. This movie has a good soundtrack. I'm the Sack Man, bro. I'm the Sack Man.
See, look, Kyle in PA never agrees with me. And he goes, it was awesome. I can't believe Rich, remember that song was at the end. Because I always like the ending too. You know, I mean, big surprise. Everyone's all happy at the end and they're having a cookout. And like, that's the music that's playing as they fade away from the cookout.
That's awesome.
No, honestly,
So,
on a
Coolio
Throwback
had
Thursday.
more songs than you realized. He had 4, I can't say hits, but 4 songs that were part of our life. Say that. So rest in peace, rest in paradise, Gangster's Paradise, on your fantastic voyage.
Gangsta's Paradise.
Coolio.
Efron Vegas, you know, he said, of course, what we all know is that the Gangster's Paradise song was a huge hit also because of the Dangerous Minds movie.
Yeah.
And of course, like 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, you're right. He was in a.
Because if you can't take the heat, get your ass out the kitchen. We on a mission.
You know, it's.
Come along and ride on a fantastic. I did like that.
There was just a moment in time. Like there are times where an artist, I would say early to mid 90s, Coolio had a couple of years where he was the shit. I agree. It's a little window of time.
I
Little
agree
window.
with John CL. The dude sweating, singing the chorus to get in Gangsta's Paradise is my favorite part in the video.
I didn't even know that part.
You know the video. Wait, hang on. This guy. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
They just show the close-up of the guy's face, and he's just singing askew.
He's frying eggs.
Like a steamy room.
No.
He's frying eggs?
Yeah.
No, he's cooking some...
He's in a sauna with Covino.
He's frying...
He's singing in the He's frying bacon. Is he the guy singing in the sauna?
He's making bacon.
Woo!
That's the guy.
Yeah, guy won't fucking stop singing. And then the other story in the news, Aaron Judge made history.
Coolio, but calm down.
Aaron Judge made history, and you know what it becomes about too? It really does, guys. Yeah. I saw Kyle in Pennsylvania, talking smack. But it becomes about the hit, it becomes about the ball, it becomes about history, but it becomes about the call. You'd be surprised how many people were talking about the call last night. And Gary Cohen's call, and the call, and Michael K's call, and Michael K, and the call, and the call, and the call, the pressure of the call. That's a big part of it, a bigger part of it now than I feel like it's ever been. There's so much buildup to what's he going to say?
What's the call?
What's the call? And then, John Sterling did his thing too. I like
that
is high.
I like when Judge was crossing home plate and he goes, Judgian blast number 61. I was like, cool.
He goes, and he ties Roger Maris.
Yeah, that's cool. I liked it. I liked, as much as Sterling is a clown, I like him.
It's part of the historic moment. And, you heard the scooter, Phil Rizzuto, to start the show. That's the highlight your kids are going to see and hear for the rest of their lives. So it really does become a thing because, man, the critics, you said all the Coolio fans came out of the woodwork. All the critics came out yesterday to give their opinion on the call. And a lot of K took a lot of heat.
And the payoff. There goes the deep left. It is high. It is far. It is gone. Number 61. He ties Roger Maris for the American League single-season record with 61 home runs. It's a 2-run Judgian blast. Here comes the Judge. A 2-run blast, and the Yankees take a 5-3 lead on number 61 for Judge.
Again, he didn't let it breathe at all either.
He didn't let it breathe at all. You know what he did, though? He was in the moment, and what made that important is they took the lead with that home run, too.
Here comes the Judge.
It was a nice moment. Everyone has their opinion. You look it up. If you don't believe me, it's trending all over social media. It's about the call. Michael K was just getting shit on. And it's funny because he's like the consummate professional, man. He is like one of those guys. And people were saying K knew he was going to say this shit for weeks, months maybe.
And he blew it.
And he said history. And that's really, not many people are saying that. People are just saying that he made it about him. He rushed it. He didn't shut up the whole time. He didn't let it breathe. His calls suck. And then other people saying he's the greatest of all time. That's the other weird thing. It is. He look it up.
Oh, but I'm saying everything I say about Michael K is that he's hated.
It's very hated. It's like a Joe Buck thing, where people know he's good, but people love to hate.
I don't think it is. I think people hate Joe.
Great.
People hate Joe Buck, but acknowledge that. All right, I hate him, but he's
Michael
a great
K's
broadcaster.
Great. He's one of the best. Ask your dad. Your dad's a fan.
I just sent you the call last night. Covino, we're harping on announcers, right?
Here comes the Judge. Well, like I said, it becomes part of the story. It does.
Oh yeah. But I'm saying, did they ever show the booth?
Yeah.
When they're making the call?
Yeah. Of Michael K. David Cohn stands up.
Do they get excited? How do they usually act? Is Michael K very stoic while he's calling? Does he sit there?
He's sitting there the whole time.
Gary Cohen.
Yeah, I know. He's
a Mets fan.
Yeah.
Lifelong Mets, which I guess you got to understand.
Michael K is from the Bronx.
You have to understand that if you're a lifelong fan of the team, that's why when broadcasters go back to the team they love,
same with K.
You can end up being a broadcaster and it's Steve Covino is the play-by-play guy for the White Sox. You'll be into it, but you're not a lifelong.
K's from the Bronx, dude. Same thing.
Know.
You did. I don't think you did.
But Gary Cohen, Spot, I just sent it to our CNR text. He's very animated, and every time he makes a call because Keith Hernandez or Ron are usually the color guy. They're very chill, and they just sit there and they smile. But Gary gets into it. Have you seen this one from last night?
Well, he's the play-by-play guy.
Yeah, but he gets
It's not Ron's call.
Guardo punches one through the hole. Base hit. Here comes Lindor. Blade with the throw to the plate. Lindor is safe, and the Mets win it. It's the month of Escobar. 5 RBIs, including the game
What a cool job.
So cool.
I could never do it.
So cool.
Cut from his. Ron's like, cool.
But again, it's part of the history, man. It really is. So Michael Kay getting a lot of heat last night. And the other update was Judge's next home run. They don't play tonight. They play back at Yankee Stadium tomorrow against the Orioles.
Tell your dumb brother to buy a ticket. Imagine Tommy's like, yeah, I caught the $5 million ball.
They're saying now, look it up.
And they offered me like free nachos, yo.
I took the nachos.
I took the nachos. Like, how can you resist nachos, yo?
McGuire's
And a
60-second
sandwich
sold for $3 million, as we discussed already. Collectors have estimated that when Judge hits 62, the fateful ball is going to surpass $5 million in valuation.
Wow.
And it was also noted yesterday that Roger Maris' son, who was there, Roger Maris Jr., says that, in his opinion, Aaron Judge is the home run king once he does it.
Did you see that?
He doesn't acknowledge.
Did you see the feedback of
steroid
that?
Era. Yeah.
No, the feedback of that was like, Roger Maris' son is an idiot. He doesn't make the rules of baseball. That was trending as well. Like, Roger Maris' son does not decide what the home run title is.
I mean, he doesn't. But it's interesting to hear his opinion.
He's never done a thing. His dad
being
was
that his dad, it doesn't matter. You know, history was made in the sense that Judge hit the 61st. He is bound to hit his 62nd. But who was there to witness it? You know, the mother of Judge and the son of Roger.
Yeah.
He has perspective. He was there when McGuire did it. He was part of the story. They're part of the movie, 61. So it's not like their opinion doesn't matter. Do they make the rules? No. He's saying he doesn't acknowledge the steroid era. But Judge does. But he's also super humble. So it still becomes a story. Do I think Roger Maris' son makes the rules?
It means
No.
a lot, and it's not just for me. I think it means a lot for a lot of people, you know, that he's clean, he's a Yankee, he plays the game the right way, and, you know, I think it gives people a chance to look at somebody who, you know, should be revered for hitting 62 home runs, and not just as a guy who did it in the American League. He should be revered for being the actual single season home run champ. I mean, that's really who he is if he hits 62. And I think that's what needs to happen. I think baseball needs to look at the records, and I think baseball should do something.
Wow. I mean, it's controversial. He doesn't make the rules, but it's something to think about. And I will say this, man. Aaron Judge, he's a once-in-a-lifetime guy. He's a super special dude. It'd be heartbreaking if he ever got caught up in some sort of scandal or whatever, because he is one of those guys that seems to do everything the right way. You know, he's an adopted guy. I wonder how his real parents feel about it. He doesn't care.
Dad?
He doesn't care.
Mama?
Maybe his real name is actually Judd.
Maybe he's a twin and has a little brother like Danny DeVito and Arnold. Maybe
So anyway.
maybe he's
There's a $5 million
I'm
ball.
a twin, and his twin is like
You're right. My brother
and his twin is Tyrion.
This is my brother.
That's his brother.
That's his brother.
That's his brother. I'm hitting up my brother right now, and I'm telling him, you should go to the Yankees game.
Looking,
I'm
let me look.
busy,
Want me to go to?
yo.
Hold on, Stubby.
I gotta look at floor to ceiling windows, yo.
Go to StubHub.
You should buy tickets
in left
to the
field.
next Yankees game. Left
I'm
field.
sure they're all sold out.
Someone
Let's
has
look.
tickets.
Hold on, I'll look right now, Spotty. I'll look
Stubhub.
right now.
Stubhub.
Friday's the next game.
Yeah.
Friday,
off tonight.
Friday, September 30th.
Stubhub
One ticket, one solo ticket,
in left field.
left field.
Bleachers.
Oh, people are on to this.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
No, but I'm saying
$5 million prize.
no.
How much?
Now the first level, like if he just makes it over the wall, like that first, like 340 feet,
Yeah.
like those tickets are $420, $500, $600 a person.
but
Now,
you're-
if you
you're-
go up to that next deck, if he hits a second decker in Yankee Stadium, 170, 180, stuff like that. But what I'm saying is, still, the chance at $5 million, someone will get $5 million.
So there's seats available.
Oh, plenty of seats available.
Wow.
In fact, a lot of seats available.
So anyway, guys, look, I know we got a show on Fox Sports Radio, but
this is monumental.
history was made
History.
yesterday, so it was a fun moment. And the Mets had a huge win.
Left center, row 3, 518.
Let's go.
Row 5, 570.
See, Raptor in New Mexico is the typical guy who doesn't get it.
What he doesn't get? He subscribes and he watches.
But it's been 61 years since someone has done this. I love the daily Yankee segments. He made
Maybe he likes
baseball
it.
history.
Maybe he's a Yankees
He tied
fan,
a
and
guy
you're
named Babe. No, he tied a guy named Babe Ruth. I mean, one
Might
of
have
the
heard of
most historical American names in our life. It'd be a disservice to not bring these things up on this show.
Does he ever hit opposite field?
Yeah, of course.
Home
He
runs?
spreads it out everywhere, like Rich in the early 2000s.
Because those are like right field's like 300.
So I'm not here to brag about my Yankees. I'm here to tell you that history was made last night.
History, yeah.
Moving on. Moving on. You want to hear more about it? Fox Sports Radio
In 2
at
hours.
2 p.m. on the West, 5 on the East. That being
It's
said,
funny.
rest in
Even
peace, Coolio.
All tickets are expensive.
I mean,
Outfield is abnormally expensive, but
They should
even
be.
just to be there, decent seats like $200, $300, $400, depending on where you sit. Yeah. People want to see history, right?
Well, thank you, Raptor. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Rolando. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Preston. Any other takeaways and how do you do?
To answer her question,
Yeah.
outfield is more expensive than behind home plate for this particular game, which is probably the first time that'll ever be, acknowledged. All right. You know whose birthday it is today? One of your heroes, a top 5 Covino guy.
Pee Wee Herman.
D. Snyder.
Great guesses.
Rob Zombie.
I love Rob Zombie. I finished The Monsters. It was pretty good.
Now, someone who is the epitome of cool to you.
Oh, Lars over. James Hetfield.
Epitome of cool?
Henry Winkler. Epitome of cool. Eddie Munson.
Someone who dressed cool in the 80s.
Joey Zuzu.
Smoked a cigarette.
Oh, Andrew Dice Clay.
The Dice Man. The Dice Man
He is the epitome of cool. You're
could
right.
officially retire because he's 65 today.
Wow.
65.
Asshole.
Is that technical? What's a senior citizen?
Asshole.
65 or 2?
I think can't you join AARP when you're like 50?
I think. Yeah. What is 65 then? What is 65?
I started getting,
65 was the
You sure? Because I got
national.
for my last birthday, I started getting AARP letters in the mail.
Isn't 65 like the retirement age where you can like start collecting your full Social Security?
I think that's 67 now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
No,
67.
but I think but 65 forever meant something. But I feel like it doesn't anymore.
Doesn't.
Asshole.
67.
Nothing means anything anymore.
65.
People are working until they die because they have to.
Who else's birthday? Well, that's it.
Birthdays today. Halsey. You don't give a shit about her.
Oh, she's very sweet.
28 years old. Chrissy Metz.
She's only 28. Oh.
Chrissy Metz, who we interviewed and we got great press out of our pal Chrissy Metz from This Is Us.
Love doing that.
She's 42, and Kevin Durant is 33. KD.
He's young. And who else is having his birthday today, Rich?
Today is the 29th. It was Black Adam's birthday yesterday.
No, it was like 2 days ago.
The Rock?
No.
Wayne Johnson?
Oh, Jerry Lee Lewis.
Roe the Peruvian Prince.
Ro the Peruvian Prince. Love you.
Oh,
Shout out to Ro and Caitlin.
He just hit you up saying it's my birthday, which is funny.
Oh,
and you actually loved the comment, which that's why I was like, "Hey, Rich, whose birthday?"
Oh,
is
you know
it,
what?
Ro?
I saw month.
like,
I saw month, and Miguel was like, "It's our birthday month." I thought Ro was also saying, "Rich, since it's my birthday month." He goes, "Since it's my birthday today, it's the month of Escobar and Ro."
Happy birthday, Ro, the Peruvian Prince. And shout out to Ro and Caitlin. And Ro, you're the best, man. Wish you the best. Happy birthday.
You gonna cry like your road test day?
Get emotional. I love that guy.
Dad, I wanted to drive today. Oh.
He's a nice man. He's a nice person. So thank you, Ro, for all your support, hanging out with us. And guys, thanks for all your support this week. Let's keep that flow going when it comes to our new adventure on Fox Sports Radio. Send it to your friends. Let's get those subscriptions going. Where are we now? Let's give the update.
All right, let's go. By the way, is it true? I thought this was a joke, but multiple people said it, so I guess it's not. The guy that missed the ball,
his name is Don Lasagna.
Frankie Lasagna?
Frankie Lasagna.
No.
Yeah.
His name's really Frankie Lasagna?
Yeah.
And he owns an Italian place in Toronto.
Shut up. It's me, Frankie. He looks like a Frankie Lasagna.
I fucking blew it, Frankie Lasagna.
What do you think of this? We all chip in. My
I saw
dad's
that. I
chiming
was just
in.
gonna say that.
We all chip in and buy my brother a ticket, and if he catches the ball, we all split.
I'm down.
What's that?
I'll throw in 150 bucks. I'll throw in 150 bucks. Be like,
It's like
yo,
taking a lottery ticket,
Yo, Tommy,
right?
go there with a fish. I want Tommy to go there with a fishing net.
Oversized glove. Hey, I would actually. That's not a bad idea.
I'll hire Tommy.
I'll throw in 100.
That's not a bad idea.
I'll
and
throw
if he
in.
catches it, we split it. That's just how it is.
Imagine the excitement you would have. You'd be sitting on. Imagine sitting on your couch, scratching your ass in fucking Sherman Oaks, California. And Judge, it is hard. It is hard. You see your brother like, yeah.
It's a judgy in black.
You'd be like, we're millionaires. We're millionaires.
You see the balls hit, and then like some hot chick walks by, and Tommy's like, yo, and then it hits him right in the head.
That honestly.
And then some other guy.
I would pay for that.
And then you write a book
a few hundred for that.
Ruined by cheeks.
I'd pay, yeah. I think of all the bullshit money you waste on fucking bets and
if
investments.
my brother's willing to do that, I'm willing to throw in $100.
I'll throw in $100. I'll throw in $100 for Tommy. Good suggestion.
But we split the prize.
We split the prize.
My dad has to throw 100 in too. Then,
I think it's 5 bills. We each put in 100.
He's gotta go.
Tommy catches it and throws it back.
Oh shit! That shit.
No, Tommy sees some girl with a hot ass and he's like, "Yo, this is for you."
So enjoy your Thursday night.
Put this ball between them cheeks.
Remember, here's the new schedule. Since we're not on Patreon tomorrow, join us on Fox Sports Radio. Even if you're not a sports fan, that's what I don't think you get. We're not required to really talk about sports. The other day we talked about your top 4 Tom Hanks movies
and dad bods.
So if you're not into sports, we try to make it relatable to everybody and incorporate sports when we can.
We talked more sports today than we did on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So only gets to the historic nature of what happened. Otherwise,
so check your local listing, and if you don't have Fox Sports Radio, download the iHeart app, the iHeartRadio app, or foxsportsradio.com.
There's so many ways to listen.
Please subscribe. It's a fun, quick 2 hours. There's a great team there. It's a fun vibe. It's different. It's way different from what we're doing here. Totally different vibe. It's a different delivery. Like, it's just us wearing a different hat, right? But it's a lot of fun. So even if you don't like sports, check it out.
Honestly, the best thing, I said it yesterday, and it's the only thing I'll ask you guys, because you already do so much by being part of our Patreon.
Yeah, but this is free.
But this is free and easy. And it's really not asking a lot. Again, even though you guys already do so much for us, go to your phone, swipe down. Podcasts. Click on it. You should have saw me walking my dad through this the other day, like you said yesterday, guys. Get to the podcast. It's
like,
bottom right, search Covino. Boom, pops right up. There it is, Covino and Rich. Click in the top right hand corner.
It's a little plus.
The little plus. It becomes a check mark. That means you subscribed, and it downloads the episodes right to your phone.
Now, lead me how to do it on an Android phone.
Well, if you have an Android, just go to iHeartRadio.com.
There you go. And do that there. Or download the iHeart app.
Or download the app.
Which is free. And just search there and do the same thing.
Now, lead me through how to do it on a jitterbug.
On a jitterbug.
Too bad.
As of right now.
Hey.
As of right now, we're number 22 currently in the sports department.
We cracked the top 20. Now we're 22.
Let's see. Number 1, Pardon My Take. Number 2, Levitards, a bunch of fantasy stuff. McAfee, Bill Simmons.
Tommy Fund.
Here's what we'll tell you on Patreon that we won't say on Fox.
We're gunning for everyone.
Gunning for Colin Cowherd, though. Gotta get in his, because he's 12, Dan Patrick's 16. We now are all on the same channel.
My goal is
we were 20 last night.
My goal is
get that going.
My goal is to have a day in the next month where we're very close to anyone on the Fox Sports Network, which would be a fucking eye opener.
Brown eye opener. Yeah. Something I can't say on Fox Sports Radio. So thank you, patrons, friends, pals. Can't wait to see you guys soon. Thank you, Raptor, again, for your kindness. Thank you, Jose, Neeby, all you guys. Have a great weekend. We'll do some Behind the Velvet Ropes. There's still one up there. I did a little big day update, a pup date, and drinks.
Oh, you know we could do Behind the Velvet Rope? That could be fun. Sarah's dad's visiting this weekend. Should I do a Behind the Velvet Rope with Dave? And David, ask Dave about the beginnings of when I started dating his daughter and all that stuff. Might be fun. Dave's a good sport.
Dave is down. So
Dave's down. He's going to want to just, honestly.
It won't be as compelling as my Quantum Leap breakdown.
Are you going to do that this weekend?
I don't know.
Please do.
Maybe.
Please do. Tier 2.
Tier 2. Thank you guys.
And what's up on the plus tiers, like the bonus footage?
There's a couple year-end specials are up there. I put up a lot of Cobra Kai content recently.
A lot of Cobra Kai interviews from the last couple of years.
Our town halls up there,
Nice.
like Ralph Macchio, Martin Cove. What else is up there that I put up recently? And some just really good fun topics.
Well, listen, yeah.
You know what it is? It's the old school. You know how we were looking through photos today?
It's a lot of good old school stuff,
It's a lot of good old school, like raunchy content.
So if you're on the plus tier, you got some old school archives, and
that's available on the same podcast feed as the regular show.
Perfect.
It's all there.
So we'll see you guys today and tomorrow, Fox Sports Radio. This weekend, some Behind the Velvet Rope. I'll do a sit down with my father-in-law.
Cool.
Maybe a little quantum leap breakdown from Spot.
No one wants to hear that.
They do. I want to hear all about how one leaps through time. And we'll see you guys next time.
I can go over string theory if you want.
I want that too. Why not? Until tomorrow or until later today. Arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Have a good day, guys.
Later.
Stupid bitches.